Hi, guys. Can you guys hear me?
New song.
Hi, Toby. Is this Max also?
On the station.
Hi, guys. How you guys doing? You guys excited?
FM. Ithaca.
Awesome. I'm doing good. I'm really excited, and you guys are going to kill it and everything like that. So, can I just get a 10 count from each of you? Toby, you can go first.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
A little bit higher in terms of, the microphone.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Maybe a little spot more.
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You're perfect. Thank you, Toby. Thank you. Max, can you count to 10 for me, please?
Yeah. 10, 9, 8, 7.
You guys are perfect.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Okay, so you guys got 10 minutes, okay? So we'll start around 47. And I'll be texting in the chat so you guys know too, okay?
Copy. All right.
Thank you guys so much.
While you're looking into my smile, if two men just ain't right, then I'm living in a world that's upside down. Yeah. And I'm feeling so good when I'm upside down, 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 down. Today I'm staying inside. Got the voice on my mind, just to make me feel better. 'Cause I'm feeling so good when I'm upside down. Yeah. And I'm feeling so good when I'm upside down, 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 down. Yeah. And I'm feeling so good when I'm upside down, down, down. And I'm feeling so good when I'm upside down.
New Modern Rock on WICB. Once Twice Melody by Beach House. Faithless by Ships Have Sailed.
Every time I start to see if she finds a way to free my mind.
Move Me by Half Alive. I Don't Want to Fight Anymore by Similar Kind.
Season how it's meant to be, running back and forth, picking up clothes.
Walk Away by Bay Ledges.
And I thought back in November this would all get a little easier, but sometimes feeling strange, and you might have just called me somebody else's better.
These new tracks and more on WICB Ithaca.
Feels like the world's been right to me, standing here by myself. Photograph with no correction to me or anybody else. I could dream 1,000 dreams, nothing could measure up. And I've been living on no one else. I feel alive, creeping, we ain't sleeping. I feel alive, screaming, street dreaming. Telling you what it's meaning. I feel alive. It's alright to me, standing here by myself. Photograph with no correction, no need for redirection. I feel alive, creeping, no sleeping. I feel alive, talk to me. You can see it through me. I feel what you got when you got it all, you sleep there. And here comes the night. You can talk to me. I need to sleep early.
Feels All Right by Spoon on 92 WICB, following Upside Down by Fleece, Your Dog by Soccer Mommy, and Liam Bensby with Hiccup. Now for one last time on the station today, it's time to take a look outside at our central New York weather. This afternoon, mostly cloudy skies, highs in the mid-40s. Tonight, still mostly cloudy, lows in the low 40s. Tomorrow, it's going to be breezy, rain likely, highs in the lower 70s. And looking ahead to Monday, still going to be rain, highs in the mid-50s. There's a wind advisory tomorrow going into tomorrow night, and right now it is a mostly sunny 43 degrees here on the South Hill. A few clouds here and there. We got one last song coming up before we got to turn it over to our sports friends for basketball. That's a heck of a name, with Cy Boogie. After this here on 92 WICB.
To hear our daily newscast anywhere, anytime, head on over to your favorite podcast app and search WICB Presents The Latest for a quick rundown of the day's news locally and beyond. Subscribe for a new update every weekday at 6 a.m. And while you're there, check out WICB's entire network of podcasts.
This is commercial-free WICB.
Artist on the Station for Innovation? Tune in to Eve Out Loud to hear a variety of female-fronted music. Sunday nights at 8 on 92 WICB.
If a natural disaster comes knocking, how prepared is your family? You can't just
Hi guys,
on earthquakes, floods.
I'm just playing PSAs and promos. We just had to do a few things before we got wrapped up, okay? So I have 15 seconds on this PSA. Do you guys want to get ready after that?
For an emergency.
Perfect, awesome. All right, sounds good. I'll get you guys in.
Or doorstep? You'll be ready. Visit ready.gov/plan and make a plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome into the Ben Light Gymnasium on Ithaca's South Hill for pregame coverage of the second round of the NCAA Division III Women's Basketball Tournament as the Ithaca College Bombers look to move on against Springfield College and dance into the Sweet 16. Hello again, everybody, and thank you for joining us. My name is Tobias Aboy, alongside my partner, Max Adams. And Max, here we are, a chance for both teams to continue their seasons. One stays, one goes home today.
Yep, it's March, and it's the most exciting part of the year for college basketball in particular, and maybe just sports in general. Everyone loves this time of year, and if it's anything like last night, Ben Light will be jumping again.
Absolutely. Well, let's look at these teams coming in. Let's start with the home team, the Ithaca College Bombers. The Bombers are coming in ranked 22nd in the D3 Hoops poll. They went 17-1 in the Liberty League, 12-1 here at Ben Light Gymnasium this season. They have been spurred on by this home crowd, and we've seen them play a big factor in these games. A week ago against St. Lawrence, they were all decked out in basketball uniforms. Last night it was the whiteout, and tonight it's a tropical theme.
Yep, and the environment, it really plays a factor in the other team's performance and how, when Ithaca goes on the run that they're able to do, the run is dictated by momentum and crowd noise. And last night we saw once Ithaca made that run, the other team just couldn't recover.
Absolutely. You talk about a run for the Bombers. It was a third quarter run by Ithaca that got them up against Catholic University, that fourth seed in this bracket. The Bombers came through. They won that game they got here today. Moving over to the other team in this game, the Springfield College Pride. They come in a little bit of a different story. They did not win their conference. They lost in the second round to Babson in the NEWMAC conference. They were 22-4 on the season, 7-3 in the New England Women's and Men's Athletic Conference play, but they were still really good on the road, 8-4 in road games this season, and it looks like they've brought their own crowd with them today. And I wrote down earlier, they're bringing their own intensity into today's game. They want to make an impact, and they want to move on here.
Yeah, they run a 9-player rotation, got into the NCAA tournament on the back of a 16-game win streak to start the season, and they're going to look to try to ride the wave of that streak again to really take them to the promised land in this tournament.
Absolutely, and you kind of saw that a little last night from the Springfield team. They took down the 13th-ranked Messiah team, 73-68 here at Ben Light. A really great job by the Springfield team. We saw them really dominate that entire game, and part of that was using their size. This is a team that has a lot of physical size, 3 players over 6 feet, including their top player, Sam Horian.
Yeah, they bring a lot of size, but on the other side, too, it's a good matchup for Ithaca. Grace Tannen stands at 5'10", Lindsay Albertelli and Emily Adorn at 5'11", and Kara Volpe, even though she's 5'9", what she lacks in height, she makes up for in physicality. So I believe that this is still a good matchup for the Bombers. I don't think the height will play that much of a factor for them coming down the stretch.
Absolutely. You talk about a team that can be good. On Ithaca's side, this is a team that has used a really deep bench throughout the season. We saw it last week against SLU. We're going to see it again today, and we saw it last night against Catholic. That really deep bench by the Bombers, they can get everyone involved, and it seems like every day a new player is being the top player for Ithaca. We saw it kind of last week in the championship game. It was Kara Volpe and Emily Dorn really coming up off the bench, and last night they will get their bench involved. So how important is it going to be for Ithaca to get that bench involved and get them to score a lot of points today?
Well, that's what they relied on the whole year, is the depth of this team. We saw Natalie Smith play 19 minutes last night, and she had a huge buzzer beater to end the first half off, and I think the depth is really huge. Emily Dorn, especially in the last few weeks, in the last 7 games in particular, averaging 7 points, 6 rebounds off the bench, really bringing the energy in the paint for the Bombers. So I think depth has been the most important factor for the Bombers all year, and in the biggest game of the year, each game is just going to be the next biggest game of the year. So that's going to be equally important running down the stretch. And you mentioned height earlier. I wouldn't be surprised if they opened it up to a 10-man rotation to get Brady Lynch involved today. not a player that's seen a lot of action this year, but she does have the height, she does have the physicality, the wingspan to match up with the height in Springfield Pride.
Absolutely, this is a Bomber team where I think they can really go to a lot of players off the bench and really match up with Springfield. But you look at one thing that the Bombers kind of struggled with, especially early on in yesterday's game, it was rebounds. They trailed in the rebound game last night. We've seen the Bombers be a really good rebounding team all season. So what is Ithaca going to need to do today to get back in that rebound game, and how important is it for them to control rebounds?
Well, it can't just be Cannon, it can't just be Dorn, it can't just be Albertelli on the boards. Everyone's got to crash, and when off misses, Ithaca's really good at getting out in transition and getting easy buckets. We saw them score 20 fast break points last night, and what helped their run really get them over the top of Catholic. And so I would expect as a coach from Dan Raymond's perspective, I would need everybody to be crashing the boards at all times, because if you lose the board game, there's more than likely going to be a chance that this game is a lot closer than you want it to be.
Absolutely, and talk about that run in last night's game. That came really at the beginning of the third quarter. The Bombers really came out on a big run there and put up a lot of points on the Cardinals, taking a big lead. And we saw last night in his press conference, Coach Dan Raymond talking about that run, talking about how important that halftime has been for the Bombers and how big the third quarter has been. So for Ithaca, how important do you see this first half and making sure that they can have a smooth second half, not having to play from behind?
The first half is equally important as the next half, just because if you get out to a hot start, then you have rhythm coming into the game. You're not chasing points the entire game, and you're not chasing rebounds and really playing, like you said, from behind. So it's important for them to get started early, not let Springfield in too close, and really get an early lead going and get it going from the field, and really get their offensive pace really corralled early.
Absolutely. We're going to talk about Springfield a little bit here. This is a team that has been really strong defensively, and you saw that last night. This Pride shut down Leah Springer of Messiah. She was the leading point scorer in the small bracket, 444 points on the season, and the Pride shut her down. So what are we going to see from the Springfield team stepping up on defense today to lock down maybe Grace Cannon?
I would assume most of the attention would be on Grace Cannon, harassing defense. They rely on, they get the 8.5 steals a game. They're really harassing. I think their guard play is really good up top as far as defensively getting out of perimeter, keeping people out of the paint. And obviously all that attention is going to be on Grace Cannon, so it'll be on people like Megan Yom and people on Kara Volpe to really pick up the slack, because we all know Grace Cannon is going to try to get hers, but it's all about the complementary pieces.
Absolutely. Let's talk about Grace Cannon. She continued her absolute stellar play the last few days. She's 10th all-time in points this season, and that's all the time we have for pregame. We'll throw it over to play-by-play coverage here on 91.7 WICB.
This is guard Cameron Coffey.
Cameron gets the Coffee. She'll try another three. That's good. Nothing but net. High begin up at 9. Cameron Coffee drains it. 9-9, 5 minutes left in the first.
You're listening to Bombers Basketball on WICB Ithaca.
Friday nights are the time to tune in.
I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I could hear the anthem, so I'll know you guys when to play in, okay?
Funkadelic. The Meters. And more. Tune into the Funk Show Friday nights at 6 on WICB.
If you're worried your friend may be struggling,
Guys, there's 25 seconds left on this PSA, okay? So I'm gonna play you guys afterwards, okay? Just say if you can hear me.
Reach out to a friend.
Okay, I'm about to play the bet, okay?
How you can help at seizetheopera.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and the JED Foundation.
Yes, I got you. Yep, I got you. I played another ad. What? You couldn't hear me?
Yeah, I got you now, Clyde.
You got me now? Okay, I got 15 seconds, okay? And then I'm going to play the sports bet. I got you guys.
All right.
Yep.
Can I, yeah, okay, we're good.
You guys are good? Okay, cool.
More here on the station for innovation, 92 WICB.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it.
historic 20-game win streak with a trip to the Sweet 16 on the line. You're listening to the NCAA second round on WICB and the Bomber Radio Network. It's the Springfield Pride against the Ithaca Bombers from Ben Light Gymnasium in Ithaca, New York. Welcome into the broadcast, everyone, alongside my partner, Jeremy Goldstein. I'm Dane Richardson. Jeremy, both teams coming off first-round wins here last night, and starting with the Pride, they controlled their game against Messiah from start to finish, led by nearly a career high from Rachel Vinton.
Rachel Vinton, definitely not the expected leading scorer going into that game. Sam Horahan, obviously the top runner on that roster, but she really made her worthwhile on the defense and offensive side of the floor, leading Springfield to a win.
Of course, the NCAA tournament brings lots of fans, and for more on that, we introduce the third member of our broadcast team, Mr. Max Tanzer. Max?
On this evening's game, just as it did last night, yesterday's round one matchup between the Bombers and Catholic had an announced attendance of 425 spectators, which of course is a season high here at Ben Light Gymnasium. You've got to imagine the Pride are prepared, having stayed to watch the entirety of last night's game. Moreover, they played in front of 400 fans twice this season, but keep in mind both were at home against WPI as well as Coast Guard. In every other game this year, guys, they've averaged around 200 to 250 fans, and if the atmosphere is any close to what it was last night as it sounds right now, it's going to be a tough task for Springfield here. They're ready to blow this roof off, guys.
Indeed, Max, thanks so much. Hopefully we can hear a little bit of that crowd we just heard loud "Let's Go Bombers" chant. Getting to Ithaca, we didn't talk about their first round win, 75-63 over Catholic University. Part of that, obviously, a huge third quarter and that balanced attack. No one over 14 points for the Bombers.
Yeah, and the third quarter narrative has been the most prominent one throughout this 20-game win streak, but I'm going to say it, as important as it is to have a good third quarter in any game you play, this Springfield team, you've got to run them out in the first half. You can't give them any leverage. Get a lead at the half if you're the Bombers, because a third quarter comeback might not be what you need at the time.
Bombers again in their home whites, Springfield in their away maroon. Starters for the Pride, Sam Horahan, Sydney Wetland, Grace Zindelet, Rachel Vinton, and Stephanie Lyons. Again, the usual five for Dan Raymond's club, Cameron Coffey, Megan Yaman, Lindsay Albertelli, Star Grace Cannon, and Kara Volpe. Cannon and Volpe recently just receiving first and second team All-Liberty League honors respectively. Tip Albertelli against Horahan. Ithaca moving left to right, Springfield right to left. Fist bumps from the left, tip as we're ready to go. Second round action, NCAA women's basketball tournament, and Springfield controls the tip. It's Rachel Vinton past the timeline, nearly a career high 20 points yesterday. Bounces to the top to Zindelet, across toward the near side left wing, it's Wetland. Here's Lyons over on the far side, right guarded by Volpe, touches one on Horahan out top. Back screen, Vinton near side left, turbos in baseline. Across to Wetland, right back to Vinton, corner three, on the way, right down the middle to start the scoring. It's Springfield. They're calling it a 2 right now. 9:30 remaining here in the first quarter.
Vinton, the 57.3% shooter. If that does end up being a 3, it would be rare because the most she's taken in her career is 2 in a game.
Springfield comes out in the 2-3 zone. Yeoman far side left wing. Rainbows one across to Volpe on the near side right. High post flashing right into the hands of Sydney Wetland, and the Pride puts the other way. Far side right, settling it down is Wetland, the transfer from Concordia, Minnesota, and Denver University, where she was a freshman. Then far side right to Zindelet, even in to the Pride's leading scorer, Horahan. Touched across, near side left corner, it's Lyons, back out to Vinton. 10 on the timer. Far side right, Horahan a long 2, left it short, defensive rebound, Yeoman for the Bombers. Just under 9 minutes left to go here in the first. Long outlet pass. Anticipating well by Vinton, 3-on-2 for the Pride. To Zindelet, down the right side, lost the handle out of bounds toward the Bombers. Yeoman, good pressure defense, making up for that turnover.
Yeah, but that's back-to-back turnovers on long passes across court or just an outlet. You got to calm it down. I know those passes were there yesterday, but you got to be a little more careful. Just run a set play.
Yeoman past the Ithaca logo. Now a 3-2 zone here for Ithaca. Springfield out in that 3-2 zone. They showed that a little bit yesterday against Messiah as well. Bombers moving around near side right. Cannon long 2 on the way. Rattles in and out. Defensive rebound to Horahan. She averages 18 and 11 Up ahead, Vinton wide open inside. Sidney Wentland, that's too easy on the left-handed layup. And the Pride have a 4-0 lead with 8:08 remaining in the first.
Similar shades of the second quarter against Catholic yesterday. The zone really determining that Ithaca's got to take a lot of long jumpers and not get any interior looks.
Coffee back out top to Volpe. Wentland playing high out in the middle of that 3-2 zone. Volpe splits defenders down the lane. Lefty lane is good. It's 4-2 with 7:50 remaining in the first. Long outlet pass. Wentland turns. Layup responds quickly. 6-2 Springfield, giving the Bombers a taste of their own medicine. Still a chaotic sequence. Yaman throws it away. And Dezindalet will slow up the pace. 7:37 left. That's the third Ithaca turnover already. Vinton double screen, out top, left-handed lane, right toward the rim, straight line drive. Springfield now an 8-2 lead under 7.5 remaining in the first.
Springfield led 7-2 out the gate in their game yesterday, and Messiah, what they did was they found Leah Springer to get them a quick run. Ithaca needs to find their player to get them back in the game.
Albertelli turnaround, foul line extended, left it short, defensive rebound to Wentland, and Vinton again will push. A lot of easy opportunities for the Pride so far. Lyons looks to get rid of it, finds Dezindalet out top, cutting to the rim is Wentland. Help from Albertelli, layup no good, but a foul is called. 7 minutes on the dot left to go in the first. A great start for Springfield.
Yeah, and they forced 3 turnovers. Ithaca getting a little over anxious, trying to make an outlet pass, a long pass ahead of the floor. And when Springfield gets the ball, they've had the ability to run, find an open trailer. They've gotten a lot of easy buckets, Dane, like you said, and they're at the line now. Chance to make it a 10-2 early lead.
56% on the season, and well short on the first is Wentland. As 4 of the 8 Pride points. If you're the Bombers, you can't get down against these type of teams too early. Every team you're going to face is very good, but Wentland 0 of 2. Back on and on the second. Bombers looking for their second field goal.
56.2% on the season for Wentland on the line for the season, so that makes do.
High post, Volpe far side left, dribbled it off her leg. Dives to the floor and gets it back out top to Yaman. Across to Coffee, far side left, Volpe dribbles in the corner, needs to get it out. Dribbles back out to the three-point line, right down the lane, scoop layup with the right hand, wouldn't fall. Rebound to Dezindalet. Surging down the far side right, contort her body up off the glass and touches it up and in. A 10-2 lead for the Pride, 6:25 remaining in the first.
Another easy bucket. You got to think about a timeout if you're Coach Raymond.
Cannon on the near side right, Ithaca's leading scorer, yet Volpe with the only 2 points so far for Ithaca. Yalman far side left, swings it across. Coffee in the post against Albertelli. Spin left against Horhan. Off the window, couldn't put it home. A miss easy opportunity there for Ithaca, and again Springfield wants to push the pace. Horhan out top, anticipated pass by Cannon the other way. Easy layup, right hand is in. A much-needed easy bucket there for the Bombers. 10-4 Springfield leads under 6 to go in the first.
Just a weekend to go. Ithaca got down early to St. Lawrence in the Liberty League Championship, and a couple fast break steal opportunities from Cannon is what got them back in the game, and we get one there right now.
Wentland on the near side, left wing, hip high, dribble across the Lions at the top. Ball fake to her right, moves in left, back out top. Horhan, a deep top of the key 3. Off the rim, no good. Hustling forward is Vinton, but boxed out by Yalman, out of bounds to the Bombers. 5:30 to go here in the first. It's still a 10-4 Springfield lead as Emily Dorn checks in for the first time.
Well, that's usually when Emily Dorn has come to the game, it's been to play alongside Albertelli. This time Albertelli checks out. But I want to give credit to Megan Yalman. It's a great boxer on Vinton, who's probably the quickest player on the floor. Boxing out enough just to keep her from getting the rebound before it got out of bounds.
Jalen Dalbon also into the game. Ithaca 1 fast break bucket, just 1 bucket against this 3-2 zone here from the Pride. Volpe probes out top, hesitates down the lane, and Dalbon sets the offensive foul. The top of that zone collapsing. Ithaca seems to have a lot of troubles with it early. Springfield basketball.
And that's too much tunnel vision there from Kara Volpe. She had a wide open Coffee for 3 on the right wing. Instead, she was too focused on trying to get to the interior and missed that, and resulted in an offensive foul.
Ithaca in their usual man-to-man defense as Vinton moves to the far side right. Speeds in on Yalman, now spins back left. Here's Wentland, kick out to Horhan, looks for the top of the key 3. Head fake, gets by Dorn, layup with the left hand, sits on the rim and falls. First bucket for the Pride's leading scorer, and just like that, they're back up by 8. It's 12-4, 4:50 remaining in the first. Ithaca desperately looking for a half-court basket, just no rhythm yet offensively. Dorn to the top, Volpe about 3 feet beyond the three-point line. Yalman into the near side right corner, Cannon. Left open, mid-range jumper is pure. Grace Cannon, that's a great sign for Ithaca for her to get going.
Cannon's their best player. They need her to play like it today.
Dalbon just checked into the game, already making an impact with that charge set.
Just under the 4.5-minute mark left to go in the first quarter. Vinton flicks one over to Dalbon, far side right wing. Wetland's already made quite the impact with 4 points. Looks to get by Yarman, but defers back out to Dalbon. Horahan, top of the key three, and bricks it toward the left side of the rim. She'll hear that from the Ithaca crowd. Yarman the other way. Ithaca a chance to cut it to 4 for the first time in as many minutes. Dorn down the lane, splits the defense, goes up and is fouled by DeZinderlet. Immediately making an impact. Dorn flashes high post, aggressive take to the rim.
Well, something so special about Emily Dorn is her ability to head fake inside the paint, and she does it there on Wetland. Then we'll go to the line for 2. Good slew of substitutions coming in here. It's the bench that actually, for Coach Raymond, ended up figuring out that zone yesterday against Catholic. So we'll see if they can get it going offensively for them as I believe we are in a timeout.
Exactly 4 minutes left. Springfield with a 12-6 early lead. And that will send it down to the third member of our broadcast team, Mr. Max Tanzer. Max, what do you got?
Thanks, guys. For head coach Naomi Graves for Springfield yesterday in the postgame press conference, she noted how important the bench was to their success and overall their win last night. Talked about how it's not about the starting 5 anymore. It was the bench against bench. Now yesterday she may have been talking about it from a productivity standpoint, but today the bench is incredibly energetic, almost trying to rival the student section, which is right in front of their faces whenever they are on their side of the court, cheering on their teammates as loud as they can, almost playing to the energy from the crowd, using it to motivate them and push them forward. Guys?
Thanks so much, Max. And yeah, Springfield, you got to be energetic. Of course, you want your team to advance to the Sweet 16. Springfield was a team that wasn't even sure if they were going to get in the tournament. Again, not even favored yesterday against Messiah. And off to a great start. How do the Bombers respond here? They look very confused against Springfield's zone.
For me, it's all about getting that zone figured out. And I think putting Natalie Smith, Hannah Polche in, which is what they're doing right now. The 2 guards that were able to penetrate that zone yesterday is going to figure it out. Think about the way Springfield's gotten their buckets, a lot of transition off the fast break, off the turnover, easy layups from both the left and the right block. Only 1 jumper, which is how Rachel Vinton kicked off the game. So narrow this deficit a little bit, limit the turnovers, and I think you'll find yourselves back in the game if you're the Bombers. So much time left.
First free throws of the game for the Bombers. Dorn, first one on the way and through. Cutting the lead down to 5. Some subs for Ithaca. Hannah Polche, Natalie Smith in for the first time. As for Springfield, Angela Sharema, a huge 16 points off the bench yesterday. And Kayla Madden in for the Pride. Dorn, second one, rattles at home. It's now a 12-8 game, 4 minutes remaining in the first. Bombers started down by as many as 8. They have the last 4 points. Vinton out top, on-ball defender is Natalie Smith. Touches one across, Dalbon here on the near side, left Sharema into the post Horahan. Already has 2 points to a strong right hand. Scoop layup, Dorn got a piece of it. Loose ball, Cannon corrals it, pushes the Polche the other way.
Great defense, Dorn playing defense with her feet, not her hands.
Dorn near side, right corner, back out Polche, swinging it around. Smith, far side left, Coffey wants 3, give her 3! Beautiful ball movement from the Bombers. It's a 12-11 game, under 3.5 to go in the first.
The last couple games, it took Coffey to the second half to get a 3-point shot going. She's 1 for 1 there, that's a great sign.
Cameron Coffey really been shooting the rock late down the stretch for the Bombers, as the loudest the crowd has been so far in Ben Light. Far side right, Vinton has the mismatch against Dorn. Horahan inside Sharema, help from Polche, gets the strip into the hands of Natalie Smith, and the Bombers with a bucket have a chance to take their first lead of the night. Smith, near side right corner, Cannon, thought about the long 2. Cross-court pass, Coffey, risky pass, but flips it along to Polche. Natalie Smith will hold. Again, cross-court pass was tipped by Dalbon as Coffey back out Polche to the top. Ithaca resets. Coffey, far side left, 10 on the timer. Far side left corner, Dorn. Ramos one across Natalie Smith. Drives it on Madden. Double team. Bounce pass in Cannon against Horahan. Off the glass. Wouldn't fall. Dorn fights for the offensive rebound. Loose on the floor. Into the hands of Rachel Vinton. Gotta get back. Vinton surges the other way toward the cup. Kick toward the corner, but Natalie Smith knocked it out of bounds. Stays with Springfield. 2:31 remaining in the first. Pride still by 1.
Yep, and we see Sydney Wetland check back into the game for more of an interior presence. Emily Dorn dominating with Sam Horahan not in the game right now. But on the last offensive possession, I understand there was no turnover and it was a missed basket, but gotta limit the cross-court passes. That's exactly how you create fast break opportunities for the Pride.
Dalbon gets it into Vinton. Springfield has gone the last 2.5 minutes without a basket as Melissa Buxton set to check in at the next whistle for Ithaca. Wetland swings it across to Madden. Here's Dalbon. Didn't have any points yesterday. Wetland left open. Right elbow extended jumper right down the middle for Sydney Wetland. A 3-point lead for the Pride. A much-needed bucket to respond on the other end. You can see the bench already giving Ithaca some much-needed energy. Coffey left open. Deep left wing 3. In and out, offensive rebound Cannon, right to the rim, and she is fouled, but they are going to call it on the floor, I believe. Ithaca will inbound it from the baseline. They need anything they can get. Not a terrible shot from Coffey, but great aggressiveness from Cannon.
Yeah, and we always talk about Cannon's scoring, and what I always tell people is the most underrated aspect of his game is her ability, or excuse me, her game, is her ability to get the offensive rebounds, and she did it there.
Polce left open off the inbound, misses a wide open three, and a foul going the other way. Sharema grabbed the defensive board. It's going to go against Grace Cannon. Not too sure about that foul call. Cannon was going for the basketball, but a foul nevertheless. 1:56 remaining in the first. Springfield still leads 14-11. Double ball screen out top. Vinton uses Wetlands to her right, gets the speed mismatch against Dorn. Sharema looks for the post up inside to Wetland. Madden across to Dalbon on the far side right. Polce draws the defensive assignment, but too many steps on the pivot foot. It's a travel. The Ithaca crowd loves it. Bombers still down by 3, 1:39 remaining in the first.
What a great display of defense from Hannah Polce, though, going back to the strip inside on Wetland and there, forcing the shuffle of the feet on the right elbow, so creates another possession for the Bombers.
Ithaca clearly has responded. Polce dribbles out top, snaps one right wing. Buxton three, delivers! She had 1 3 yesterday, has another one tonight. It's tied at 14, 1:20 remaining in the first.
No hesitation on that pull right there.
Vincent speeds down the lane, help side from Buxton. She has to dribble it back out. Swing across, Dalbon, touch pass. Madden, a right side three. Off the mark, but chases down her own board. Double team, Dalbon, wide open top of the key. Dribbles in, kick to Vincent, near side left corner three. Left it short. Defensive rebound, Natalie Smith. A lot of missed open opportunities. Smith, long outlet pass, anticipated well by Wetland, Had Buxton open, just didn't have enough juice on the pass. Sharema down the lane, layup off the window is good. Springfield retakes the lead by 2, 16-14, under a minute in the first.
More points off turnovers. I like the aggression by Smith there, but again, you're creating fast break opportunities for Springfield.
Ithaca already with a couple of shots from beyond the arc. Cannon in the near side right corner, rejected by Wetland on the jump shot. Fantastic defense. Quickly up ahead, Vincent left side layup is off the glass and down. Springfield, just as it was tied at 14, retakes a 4-point lead under 20 to go in the first. Shot clock off, Bombers will settle for the final shot. Still in that zone. Smith sends it across to Polce. Dribbles to the top, high post door, right into the body of Wetland. Layup off the glass, sits on the rim and in. Huge bucket for the Bombers. 2 seconds, Vincent to half court. That one's good if it goes. And off the back rim, nearly went in. And your score after 10 minutes of play in the first quarter, Springfield 18, Ithaca 16. Got to give credit for the Bombers fighting back after a really slow start.
Yeah, and this is very similar to yesterday, where the majority of the production in the first half is coming from Coach Raymond's bench. We see, based off of the huddle down right below us, that he's going to go with the majority of that bench unit with Volpe coming back in the game. You have to think that the zone is probably going to be penetrated more by quicker basketball.
One of the things they do best is running out in transition, and that's when they get defensive stops. But it seems like the team that's going at the faster pace is Springfield. A few easy transition buckets early that we didn't see them really have yesterday. Unlike Ithaca to give up those type of baskets.
Well, I think they've had so much success with these outlet passes running the floor, and that Springfield's ready for them now, so they're getting all these fast break opportunities. That's why it seems like they are the quicker team. If Ithaca just calms down a bit, slows it down, I know that's unlike their character. It's how they've won 20 games in a row, but if you slow down the pace just a tad bit, maybe walk up the floor a little more than you usually do, I think Springfield might be thrown off rhythm offensively.
Ithaca starting the second quarter with Volpe, Dorn, Buxton, Polce, and Natalie Smith, the same lineup they ended with on the floor for Springfield. Zindelet, Vinton, Wetland, Sharema, and Lyons. Bombers will start with it. Again, moving left to right in the home whites. 18-16 Pride lead as we begin the second stanza. Springfield again out in that 3-2 zone. Wetland in the middle at the top. Volpe probes, kick to the near side right wing. Buxton one more time, give it to her for three. Melissa Buxton, 2 of 2 from downtown. Bombers take their first lead of the contest. It's 19-18, 20 seconds into the quarter. Lions far side right, Polce on the defensive assignment. Touched across to Zindelat, looks to respond from three, almost banked it in, gets her own offensive rebound, short corner jumper off the back rim, tipped around off the hands of Sharema. It's Bomber basketball. How about Melissa Buxton, Jeremy?
No hesitation. A lot of her threes usually are just waiting to see how the defense reacts to her catch, but she's pulled it immediately as she's caught the passes. Going back to Dylan Zindelat on her offensive end, just 1 for 4 from the field, 1 for 3 from behind the arc, starting off 0 for 2. She was third in her conference in three-point shooting and has acted like it so far in this tournament.
Volpe back out top, looking to get Buxton another look. Now it's far side left. Polche looks to get into the post. It's going to be a kickball on Wetland. Out of bounds as Riley Robinson checks in for the first time for Springfield. 9:06 remaining in the second. Bombers lead 19-18. Polche will inbound on the far side baseline.
And still no Sam Horahan. She's still on the bench for Springfield.
Finds Volpe at the top. Surges in right, looks for Dorn inside. Great help from Wetland, took it away. That's her third steal of the night. Wetland to DeZindelat inside, pushed in the back by Volpe. She knows that was a clear foul. DeZindelat to the line for 2 shots, but again, the Pride getting out and running in transition.
Yep, and that's the last person you want to send to the line. Dylan DeZindelat on a not very good free throw shooting team. She shoots at just over 80%. So maybe that's how she's going to find her stroke as this first half windows down.
Sydney Wetland missed her first 2. And it might be a lot harder to shoot in the second half for Springfield's free throws due to, of course, that ruckus crowd. It's a Beats theme tonight, I might add. Looking very, very tropical over there, to say the least. DeZindelat knocks down the first. Second one on the way. Knocks it through 20-19. Just over a minute left to go. Excuse me, a minute in to the second quarter. Springfield leads 20-19. Polche bounces Smith over on the right elbow extended. Double team, Polche bounces to Dorn, right elbow jumper was contested, wouldn't fall. Offensive rebound, Natalie Smith. Bounce Polche, wide open layup. Bombers retake the lead, 21-20. Great effort from Smith.
Smith, 5'7", in a sea of red jerseys there, getting the rebound, finding her fellow backcourt mate Polche for the deuce.
Wetland quickly looks to answer, far side right. Jumper, it's an air ball. She'll hear that from the Bomber crowd. Across to Smith, far side left, speeding in down the lane. Smith, cross-court pass, Polche dribbles in, 10-footer on the right side, around and down. Hannah Polche has 4 points off the bench. It's a 23-20 Bombers lead, 8 to go in the second.
Bench is just so much confidence on these shots. You gotta love what you're seeing. Bombers look like they're going to be blown out of the water in the first couple minutes of this game, and now they're up by 3.
Robinson flicks it across in the far side right corner. Lions quickly back to Robinson. 10 on the timer. Here's Lions, really the 4th or 5th option for them offensively. Picks up a dribble, having trouble with it. Back to Robinson, averaging only 2 points a game, and a late reach-in call on Hannah Polche. Head coach Dan Raven not happy about that one. There was 4 seconds left on the shot clock.
Right, and I understand Polche's willingness to try to create fast break opportunities on the Bombers' end of the floor. Again, 4 seconds on the clock, right? They haven't had to score a lot from the half court due to the amount of forced turnovers, but in this case, you try to let her shoot. But I like the aggressiveness from Polche. It's a good sign of the determination on this end.
Second team foul for the Bombers this quarter. Wetland right into Buxton, picks up a dribble. Cross court to Zindelat, 3 for the tie. Left wing is pure. Race to Zindelat, 3rd in the new max. Springfield's confidence in 3-point percentage, showcasing her abilities right there. It's tied at 23. Just under the 7.5-minute mark to go in the second. Buxton already 2 threes, looking for a third, but instead pushes one out to Polche out top. Albertelli flashing in the high post, Volpe across to Smith. Not known as a 3-point shooter, instead drives. Cutting to the rim is Volpe, but in and out of her hands, and a 3-on-1 down the left side, it's Stephanie Lyons. Cross-court pass, Robinson, head fake in the post to Wetland, had trouble with it. Back to the top of the key, Sam Horahan, 3, front rim and in. 2 consecutive long balls for Springfield. They take a 26-23 lead, just under 7 to go in the second.
These turnovers are killing this Bomber offensive momentum.
Yalman, Cannon, and Coffey set to check back in for Ithaca. Volpe, quick drive baseline, tough reverse against Horahan, couldn't get it to go. Albertelli offensive rebound, rejected by Horahan, loose ball into the hands of Horahan as Springfield will settle it down. Fantastic interior defense.
And there's that momentum on the inside that Springfield was missing while Horahan was taking a rest. She's back in now and dominating the contest.
Lions rooted off the downscreen to Zindelat with the catch. Across to Robinson to the far side right corner. Horahan has trouble with it, now regathers. Baseline cutting, Horahan the take. Great help side defense. To Zindelat, however, takes it right away from Polche. Springfield still another possession to Zindelat. Another corner 3 well short. Bounces out to Polche, and Ithaca will finally slow the pace. 6 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Springfield leads 26-23. Buxton open, far side left wing. Left it short from three. That's her first miss from downtown. And a quick pressure by Buxton causes the travel by Grace DeZindelet. Don't see those type of inadvertent turnovers too often from Springfield. Head coach Naomi Graves not pleased.
It's a great way for the majority of this bench unit to go out as Polche and Buxton take a seat along with Volpe. Now Grace Cannon back in the game. Need to see her impact take place. Coach Roman also sticking with Natalie Smith as probably the primary point guard, despite Yalman coming back into the game. Shows the impact she's had, especially on the zone.
Smith did a nice job against Catholic's zone yesterday with head fakes and moving the defense with her eyes. Long inbound pass, Cannon gets it into Smith. Cannon sitting in the far side left corner, Albertelli flashing around the foul line. Yalman running baseline, gets a down screen. Coffey flicks one to Albertelli, into the high post. Yalman back out Coffey, near side right three, ring it up! Second long ball for Cameron Coffey. It's tied at 26, 5:36 remaining in the second.
Yesterday, threes were what kept the Bombers from taking a bigger lead. Threes are keeping the Bombers in the game this time.
Horahan far side right, head fake. Yalman comes in the help side. It doesn't matter. A kiss off the window. Sam Horahan. Springfield retakes the 2-point lead. 5:20 remaining in the second. Smith back out Yalman. Pump fakes into the corner. Natalie Smith not known as a shooter, but makes it anyway from downtown. 29-28. Fourth three ball of the game for Ithaca. They take a 1-point lead. 5 to go in the second.
Then 2 years ago when Ithaca was eliminated in the second round by Williams, they didn't hit a single three in that game. Everyone's making threes today.
Might be what pushes them over the top to their second Sweet 16 appearance in the last 4 years. Springfield not great spacing on this possession. 7 on the timer. Lions far side right, has trouble with it. Lobs it into Sharema. Tip by Yalman into the hands of Cameron Coffey, and the Bombers have a chance to extend the lead. Largest lead for Dan Raymond's team has been 3 this game. Ithaca, 3 threes in the last possessions. Yalman near side right, Cannon flashing high post. Into the short corner, Albertelli has trouble with it. Pressured by Sharema, picks up her dribble. Cannon turnaround, still without a point, well short. Defensive rebound, Horahan up ahead to Robinson. Quickly ahead, Wetland, and again, too many steps early. A travel right there, Grace Cannon does have 4 points already. Media timeout on the floor, 4:15 remaining here in the second quarter. Ithaca leads 29-28, and for more, let's send it down to the third member of our team, Max Tanzer. Max?
Thanks, guys. There's a little bit of difference in tone between the two meetings we've seen so far here for the Bombers tonight in between breaks. The first one midway between the first quarter, very tight, very tense. However, between the first and second quarter, a lot looser. It was led by Emily Dorn and Megan Yaman before Coach Raymond even got over. Afterwards, at the very end, Yaman coming out, clapping her hands, telling everybody, let's go, trying to get them fired up, which likely led to what was a big run afterwards. Guys?
Thank you very much, Max. And 29-28 lead. The last thing you expected, if the Bombers had a 1-point lead, I told you this, if I told you this right now, with 4:15 remaining in the second quarter, and I told you the Bombers had a 4-point lead, but already had 4 or 5 3-pointers, 1 to 2, would you believe me?
I mean, I believe you, but I think it'd be a different...
It'd be unlikely.
It'd be a change of pace considering the last few games, again, I've talked about this a couple of times already, is really taking them until the second half to make threes, and albeit it would just be really Cameron Coffey hitting a couple big ones in stride. You know, you have Natalie Smith making a 3, Melissa Buxton, who can make them, knocking down 2 already. So you gotta like the confidence being displayed by the Bombers, really good guard play off the bench. It's going to really come down to limiting turnovers and stopping momentum from Springfield on the interior. That's what it's all about in the remaining stretch of this game.
And you notice the Bombers' first initial run was without Springfield's leading scorer, Sam Horahan, off the floor. Getting back into the action, 4:15 remaining in the second quarter. Bomber basketball leading 29-28. Yalman, Smith, Albertelli, Cannon, and Coffey on the floor for Dan Raymond's club. Smith has done a nice job facilitating, also knocked down a 3-pointer. Left elbow extended, Albertelli across to Smith. Here's Yalman on the left elbow, jumper, she sticks it. Megan Yalman, a big-time jumper, mid-range, she can shoot it.
Really good display of jump shooting. It was the interior offense that propelled Ithaca to a victory against Catholic. It's jump shots this time, which is the great defense against the zone.
Handoff, Sharema out top. Ithaca playing a man-to-man defense the entire game so far. Ball screen to her left. Vincent picks up her dribble. Back out top. Yalman gambled, couldn't get it. Leaves the lane for a Horahan. Set back by Albertelli. Out of bounds. Stays with Springfield. Albertelli, a career-high 4 blocks yesterday. Notches another one right there.
Albertelli has had her fair share of struggles today on the offensive end of the floor, but making up for it with an emphatic block on Horahan.
Vincent on the inbound. Smith not guarding the inbounder. Finds Horahan in the corner. Crafty head fake against Yalman. Puts up another head fake and sinks the mid-range jumper. Crafty move from Springfield's leading scorer. 31-30 Ithaca, just under 3.5 to go here in the second quarter. Springfield back to that 3-2 zone. Ithaca has really found some fluidity their last few offensive possessions. Cross-court pass, Smith head fakes in near side right. Step back mid-range, off the back rim, no good. Rebound to Horahan for Springfield. Springfield a chance to retake the lead. Ithaca's largest lead was 3, but they haven't been able to push past that. Wetland started off hot, but hasn't scored in the last few minutes. Sharema near side left, Horahan backing down Coffey. Kick out to Vincent, extra pass, Wetland top of the key. Speeds in left, bounce to Sharema, short corner jumper, she drains it. Fantastic ball movement from the Pride, 32-31. Springfield leads, 2:45 to go in the second.
That's the great thing about the Springfield team that I've seen this weekend is they really don't feel pressure. Lots of ball movement in the last 10 seconds of that shot clock to get them to lead back.
Smith out top again. She's been the main ball handler instead of Yalman so far today. Dangerous pass ripped away by Rachel Vincent. Albertelli on the defensive end. Vincent, what a step through. Scoop land. Nifty right there toward the win by Vincent. Springfield by 3, 2:20 remaining in the second.
These fast breaks from Springfield need to stop. You got to be less careless with the passes.
Coffey about 3 feet beyond the line. Kicks to Smith near side right corner 3. Right down the middle. Natalie Smith, 2 of 2 from downtown. 34 all. 2 minutes left to go in the second.
Natalie Smith came into this game 14% from behind the arc on the entire season, and she's 2 for 2.
Springfield quickly with an answer. Sam Horahan in on the post. Banks it in with ease. 36-34. Under 150 to go in the second. Across, Coffey near side right wing, pushes out top to Cannon. Across to Natalie Smith, maybe looking for a heat check, but instead will settle it up. Yalman near side right corner, Albertelli. Speeds in, stripped away, loose ball on the floor, taken away by Stephanie Lyons for Springfield. Still a 36-34 Pride lead, under 1.5 to go here in the second quarter. Wetland out top to Lyons, across to Sharema on the near side left wing. Hip high dribble, pushes inside, couldn't get it to go. Offensive rebound, and gets an easy lay-in right there. Dan Raymond not happy. Springfield by 4. Far side left, speeds in, mid-range jumper, knocks it down. Megan Yalman, her second mid-range jumper, a much-needed bucket for Ithaca. 45 seconds left to go in the second. Bombers down 2.
This all happening with arguably the best player on the floor yesterday, Cara Volpe. She's been sitting this whole time.
Far side right, Wetland, 17-second difference, game clock and shot clock. Sharema out top, touches one on to Vincent. Risky pass, Horahan out top. Looks to get it to Wetland on the dribble handoff. Albertelli switches onto her. Pass tipped around inside, taken away by Coffey. Up ahead to Natalie Smith. Bombers have numbers if they want it, but Smith will slow it up. Shot clock off. Head coach Dan Raymond wants one shot. Smith, 2 threes already to go along with a couple assists. Crosses over right top of the key. Here's Yalman, 4 seconds on the timer. Cannon, pump fake, 2 seconds. Mid-range jumper, couldn't get it to go. Rebound to Vincent, and at halftime, Springfield holding a 2-point, 38-36 lead. Takeaways from that first half, Jeremy.
It could have been a lot worse, considering the way Springfield started the game with 3 consecutive turnovers, getting some fast break buckets, going up by as much as 8. Great resilience by Ithaca to get back into the game, but they still have to clean up those sloppy passes, defend better inside the paint. The three-point shooting has been great, but I don't know if it's sustainable throughout the rest of the game, so you've got to play better, intelligent basketball.
We'll be kicking it to the halftime show right after this with Max Adams and Tobias Zabore. If you had to think Ithaca, do you think they're going to improve on the inside of the second half? Because, again, three-point shooting was the name of the game for them.
Well, Dane, what have we said for the last 20 games? The team has said it. This is a third-quarter team, right? They have their best quarters. They dominated Catholic by, I believe, 15 points in that third.
The NCAA second-round Division III women's basketball tournament. Their halftime scores, Springfield 38, Ithaca 36. We'll be back here for the second half. Jeremy Goldstein, Dane Richardson. For now, stay tuned for the halftime show. Max Adams and Tobias Zabora. You're listening to 91.7 FM WICB.
So imagine you're driving down the highway, craving some tunes.
Great job, guys.
Perfect radio station. Not a CD in sight, but you do have your smartphone. It's iHeartRadio to the rescue. With over 1,500 live radio stations, including the very best in college radio. Ithaca's very own commercial-free WICB. You'll never be without some awesome music ever again. That's the iHeartRadio.
Hello, 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 hello. Are you guys all set? I just played one more. 30 seconds left on this PSA, and you guys will do great and everything. So thank you guys. Yep, sounds good.
Say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying when it's time to go home.
Yes, I heard that from Nick. Yeah, 3 is good. Yeah, I agree with that.
Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from Ithaca and the ad count.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to halftime coverage of the second round of the NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament, as your Ithaca College Bombers trail Springfield by a score of 38-36. I'm Tobias Zabora alongside my partner, Max Adams. And Max, breaking down the first half, what did you see from Springfield, especially early on when they got that big early run to kind of get them to this halftime lead?
Well, we've seen now back-to-back days where Ithaca has struggled to figure out a zone in the first half. They're running a really good 3-2 zone. They're baiting them into a lot of cross-court passes that are getting picked off, and that's setting up easy points for them up in transition.
Absolutely, and talking about defensively for the Bombers here early, a little bit of a struggle early on. They've allowed a lot of fast break points, so they're trailing in that category at the half, 12-2. So the Bombers defense needs to figure that out here going into the second half.
Absolutely, and I mean, they also need to cut down on the turnovers. Those two things are really killing them down the stretch. We've seen Grace Cannon kind of get stuck in transition in no man's land, setting up easy buckets where there's almost no contest, a layup line finish at the rim, and that's what they were off to a 12-4 run to start off the game, and a lot of those points came right at the rim and transition while the Ithaca defense struggled to get back. So they're getting beaten in the transition game, and they're so used to playing at their pace. Now Springfield is forcing them to kind of alter what they want to do on both sides of the floor.
Absolutely. The Bombers made a lot of sloppy passes early, a couple sloppy mistakes, and that got Springfield the ball, and it got them a lot of opportunities. But we saw later in the half, as it progressed, the Ithaca defense really tightened up on Springfield, and a lot of those opportunities that they had going for them early, Ithaca kind of closed the door. So I think we're going to try and see a lot of that from Raymond here at the half. Maybe stressing defense, maybe trying to fix that as we get into the second half.
Absolutely. We saw them come out yesterday in the second half, and they adjusted to the zone. They found open shots. They found a way to not force passes into the lane, and that's what they like to do a lot. They like to try to find Albertelli or Doan or Grace Cannon on the low block, and sometimes they fall too in love with that and not more into the more open shots around the perimeter. So I think if they adjust like they did yesterday, they should be fine, good to go.
Absolutely. Well, we talked in pregame about this team being a second-half team. Here's, I think, where we're really going to see it. We heard again, as we mentioned in pregame, that post-game press conference last night by Dan Raymond. He talked about adjustments at halftime and talked about the third quarter being really important for the Bombers, making a big stride there. So what do you think we're going to see from the Bombers at the half to make that big adjustment in the third?
Well, what we saw yesterday was Megan Yeoman really take over and be the best floor general in the Liberty League that we've seen all year. She really knew when to go out and run in transition. She really knew when to halt the pace and really get the ball moving around. They had excellent ball movement in the second half, and a lot of times Dan Raymond's offense, they're going to pass up a good shot for an even better shot. So if they continue, that's what's got them to this 20-game winning streak. That's what got them to this point in the NCAA tournament. So if they stick with that recipe, we should see the same old Bombers.
Absolutely. Well, you talk about the Bombers getting open shots. A lot of those open shots coming from beyond the arc. Throughout the season, the Bombers have been a slightly above average team at three-point shooting. They haven't really set the world on fire. Tonight, 66% from beyond the arc. They're 6 for 9. What a change. What do you think we're really seeing from the Bombers in terms of threes that we weren't seeing earlier this season?
I think we're seeing a lot of complementary players really step into the spotlight and embrace the moment. Natalie Smith with 9 points at half. Melissa Buxton was huge on the defensive end as well as hitting 2 threes. That makes up 5 of the 6 threes that they hit in the first half coming off the bench. I think the bench play, they're outscoring Springfield's bench 20-6. It's really the difference in this game and really what kept the game from getting
out of hand when that game started off on a 12-4 run. That lineup with Natalie Smith, Melissa Buxton, and Emily Dorn really stayed par for the course and really kept Ithaca in it in the first half.
Absolutely. You talk about those runs. These teams have traded big runs. It was Springfield, then Ithaca, Springfield, then Ithaca, and we've seen each team have turns leading after huge runs, and then they lose it. So what do you think we're going to need to see in terms of consistency from both teams in order to kind of get that run and then keep that lead throughout the game?
Well, on Ithaca's end, they forced, as I said earlier, they forced a lot of passes, really long passes that got picked off that, I mean, Springfield's beating them on that side of the floor on both ends. They're getting back on defense and then run it out on offense. And they're really getting, Kara Volpe has 5 turnovers at half, and 3 of them came on really long passes. Megan Yaman had 2 turnovers earlier as well on long passes. So I think if you limit that and really just play calm for the Bombers, they'll stay right where they're at, and it's going to be a close game going down the stretch. I think for Springfield, your game plan is working. I mean, you just got to put the ball in the basket. They're getting really good looks on inside, but their shots aren't falling from the outside. Just 2 of 10 from 3, not really shooting the ball well outside of just what the layups they've gotten down in the paint. So I think they got to just get shots to go.
Absolutely. Springfield started this first quarter, went 0 for 6 in threes, came in, went 2 for 4 in the second quarter. But you look at that, points in the paint, and that's being the real difference maker here. The Pride have 22 points in the paint. The Bombers have just 8. So Springfield really able to get inside, get big points in, and they're really using that physicality that we talked about, that height advantage. You're seeing them able to block passes. You're seeing them in the paint really stopping them. So for Springfield, that's playing a big part here right now.
Absolutely. And, I mean, like I said, that 3-2 zone, we've seen the Bombers the last 2 days struggle with trying to find holes in the zone. They keep thinking that wing swing pass across from the corner to whatever wing they're on that side of the floor, they think that they can make that pass. That pass got picked off a number of times in the first half, and Springfield's game plan is really working for them.
Absolutely. Well, we talked about rebounds in pregame. We talked about how important it was for the Bombers to control the rebound game, and it's pretty close here, 16-13, Springfield leading at the half. But we saw a lot of plays where Springfield got second chance points by gaining rebounds, and we saw an Ithaca shots that maybe missing a rebound or 2 that could have points up. So what do you think the Bombers need to do in terms of rebounding just to get back in that and maybe even that up a bit?
I think Emily Dorn needs to see more minutes. She's been their leading and really moving the big bodies on the other side of the floor out and really getting herself set up inside for layups and really getting the team out in fast break, running in transition. So I think if Emily Dorn is what she's been for the last 7 games, you leave her out there because rebounds are of the utmost importance in games like this.
Absolutely. And look at these 2 teams. They're top players on both sides. Horian for Springfield, we called that in pregame. Horian has been so dominant for the Pride, so I think a really big part of their game has been her, and I think for the Bombers, it's going to be shutting her down. She's put up 11 points so far for Springfield. She's 5 for 11 on field goals, and she's also one of just their 2 players who has a 3-pointer. She also leads in rebounds, so a really big part of this Ithaca team is going to have to be stopping number 24.
Absolutely, and if I'm Dan Raymond coming out of half, I think about sending every time that Kara Volpe and Melissa Buxton are on the floor at the same time as Horian, I'd have them follow her around if they were going to stay in man. If they want to go zone and see if they could give her a different look and make her uncomfortable, then do that. But she can't be the reason that you guys get beat in this game. You have to make somebody else beat you on the Springfield Pride sideline.
Absolutely. And look over on Ithaca's side. They're being led so far by Natalie Smith, 9 points. She's been 3 for 3 on 3-pointers. She has been perfect from beyond the arc. 4 assists as well. So Smith, really big job for her. Do you think we're going to see her continue stepping it up in the second half, or are we going to see the Bombers maybe revert to their traditional scores?
Well, we've seen the last 2 days between today and last night, Natalie Smith get a lot of big minutes, and she's actually playing alongside Megan Yaman, who was the consensus one most of the time for Ithaca, and to see both ball handlers in on the same time is really giving the defense a different look, and I think that made all the difference yesterday as far as adjusting to the zone, getting people that can facilitate and penetrate the defense, really get them uncomfortable. So I think if she's got her shot going and she's making smart decisions, not turning the ball over, Natalie Smith should be a big factor in this game moving down the stretch.
Absolutely, but one of the things the Bombers are going to need to do is get more production from Grace Cannon. She's played 16 minutes. She leads the team in minutes so far. Just 4 points. She's 2 for 7 in field goals. Hasn't attempted a 3 yet, but she leads in rebounds. So for the Bombers, it seems a lot like they're using her more as a decoy than they are as one of their top performers. Do you think we're going to see that going forward, or do you think kind of reverting back to last weekend, we're going to see her really take
over here? Well, Grace Cannon at this point in the year is no secret. She averages 16 points a game, 6 in the Liberty League in scoring all year, and she has really been the star of the show for this 20-game win streak for the Bombers. So obviously all the focus is going to be on her, and so that's why Natalie Smith and Melissa Buxton contributing how hit they have has been so huge, because that defense coming into this game was just stop Grace Cannon. So I think that the complementary players need to continue what they're doing, and if Grace Cannon opens up with her shots and starts getting open looks, then by all means find her. But if you need to use her as a decoy to get past this game and other people are making shots, then I don't see any reason to go away from it.
Absolutely. So coming into the second half, before we go, who do you think we're going to see from Ithaca take a big step, and who do you think we're going to see from Springfield take a big step?
Well, Kara Volpe had a rough first half, as I mentioned, just 2 points, 5 turnovers. I think she's going to really put her head down and make her mark on this game, because I know she is not happy with the production that she was able to output in the first half. And for Springfield, I expect Horahan to keep having her way. I mean, the offense goes through Horahan. So I think from there, she's just going to keep finding her shots, and the Springfield Pride is really going to play through her.
Absolutely. Well, that's all the time we have for halftime coverage, as the Pride of Springfield lead the Ithaca Bombers 38-36. Let's hand it over now for second half coverage from the Ben Light Gymnasium on 91.7 WICB Radio Ithaca and on the Bombers Radio Network.
From Louis.
Nice job, guys. Nice job, nice job.
To Basie. To Shorty.
Yes, I got you. I have 10 seconds on this PSA. How you guys feeling?
Decades of jazz all in one show. Yeah. Listen to Jazz.
Perfect.
Weekdays 12 to 2.
I'll play one more.
How was that?
WICB.
Like you threw up in the bathroom? What are you talking about, Dane? What? No, it wasn't. What are you saying?
County residents.
You did great. Did you actually throw up in the bathroom?
That provides various public services, including.
Do you actually? Wait, Dane, did you actually throw up in the bathroom?
In a triad room where individuals can.
Are you sure?
Technology to see if a certain apparatus or gadget supports their needs.
You guys are gonna do great in the second half. Just, you know what? Just treat it like it's any other game.
FLIC.
Dude, don't be so hard on yourself, Dan. Like, trust me, you got this, okay? I'm gonna play one more, okay? And then I'll get you guys on, okay?
3. For 20 years, music legend Bernie Milton hosts
25 seconds.
the longest-running R&B and soul radio show. My name is Ricky Milton. The tradition continues on Fridays from 10 a.m. to noon right here on WICB. From icons like Otis Redding, James Brown, Wilson Pickett, Stevie Wonder, Aretha Franklin, and the greatest groups of all time. The best from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. The definition of soul, looking back. Fridays, right here on 92 WICB.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it.
Second round of NCAA tournament basketball here at Ben Light Gymnasium. The Ithaca Bombers currently trailing the Springfield Pride 38-36. Jeremy Goldstein alongside Dane Richardson. And before we get the third quarter started, we got a hit from Max Tanzer, the third member down on the sideline. Max, take it away.
Thanks, guys. Something to keep an eye on from the Bombers' perspective here entering the second half is the 3 on the center of the scoreboard here on Ben Light Gymnasium, marking, of course, that we're entering the third quarter. In their 3 of their last 4 games, the Bombers have scored 20 points in that third quarter, averaging 20.75 in that span. Not only that, they've allowed 14.5 on average, including just 7 last night. So they'll look to keep that mojo going here, trailing by 2. Guys?
Thank you so much, Max and Dane. At the beginning of this game, it seemed like with the Bombers down 8, turned the ball over a lot, they were going to get blown out of the water. What helped them cut this deficit down to 2 at the end of the day?
Making threes, right? Cameron Coffey has 2, Melissa Buxton 2, Natalie Smith has a couple. Usually they get a lot of offense from their interior, but tonight it's been outside the three-point line. They'll take it, but a huge credit to Springfield. They're only down 2 despite that great shooting.
Both sides going with their starting 5. It'll be Dezindalet, Vinton, Wentland, Horahan, and Lyons for the Pride. Yarman, Coffey, Volpe, Albertelli, and Cannon for the Bombers. Dezindalet catches at the top of the key, gives to the left wing for Wentland. Now Rachel Vinton open the game scoring, gives to Lyons on the right wing. Horahan getting pressured by Yarman at the foul line extended. Working around the perimeter are the Pride. Horahan fakes, goes to the right wing. Now Wetland goes to the left block for Lions. Tough shot. Wanted the foul. Didn't get it. Rebound Cannon. Bombers can take the lead. They move in their white jerseys right to left. 9:28 to go in the third quarter. Here's Coffee. Left wing trigger. Too strong. Rebound by Rachel Bitton, and she moves left to right in the crimson red jerseys for the Pride. Bitton taking it slows the pace. Horahan to the left wing. Forward to Zindelet. Calming down the offense are the Pride. Pump fake. Wetland goes up. Blocked by Cannon. Rebound Coffee. Bombers looking to tie or take the lead once again.
Great play by Cannon defensively. 2 huge blocks yesterday. Again, that interior defense stellar.
Yeoman slowing down the pace as well. Another zone display by the Pride. Volpe kicks it back out to Coffee on the wing. Now Albertelli to Yeoman. Yeoman hit a 3 of her own. Tries another from the left side. Will go offensive rebound. Kara Volpe. Bombers reset the offense. Coffee now on the left wing for Yeoman. Now Albertelli catches at the top of the post. Cannon fakes, drives inside onto Zindelet, doesn't have a shot, goes for Albertelli, picks it up off the floor, puts up a lefty layup, won't go, fight for the rebound, it's Sam Horahan.
Too much standing around for the Bombers on offense, can't settle for a 3, need more off-ball movement.
Vinton to the top of the key for Horahan, no scoring, 8:16 left in the third quarter, 38-36 Springfield. Bombers crowd trying to bring the defense to life. Here's Vinton off the head fake, drives inside, falls down, Albertelli got a piece of it. Cannon called timeout before she fell out of bounds, I believe, as it looks like both sides are getting ready to join the huddle. And it is a timeout. Great job taken by Cannon before she turned it over to call a timeout.
Fantastic play, a veteran play, I might add. Not a lot of whistles driving toward the rim early on here in the third quarter, right? Ithaca's interior defense, that help side, it was really fantastic yesterday against Catholic, showcasing that again today. But how about Cannon realizing, saying, hey, I'm going to fall out of bounds, and she had possession before that. So if Springfield gets that ball, the shot clock resets as well. Calling the timeout, could that come back to hurt them later? Maybe, but no scoring early on. It's been a defensive showcase from both squads.
Springfield looking for a couple foul calls early in the quarter. They just have 4 free throw attempts dating back to the first half. They're running into a brick wall that was Lindsay Albertelli. Albertelli struggled in that first half offensively, really making up for it on the defensive end there.
Yeah, Lindsay Albertelli, again, a -11 plus-minus in the first half. After a career game yesterday, scored 10 points, as I mentioned earlier in the first half. 4 blocks to go along with that as well. She's a player, a senior, you would expect to bounce back, especially in this environment. You got the crowd giving her energy. You'd really expect that entire starting lineup, because it was the bench that really rejuvenated the Bombers and got them back into that game, including 4 threes off the bench, 2 from Buxton and 2 from Natalie Smith.
Again, 8:05 remaining here in this third quarter. Bombers trailing at 38-36. They'll go the full length of the floor. Looking again to tie or take the lead. A couple defensive stops for either side to commence the second half. Again, the winner with a trip to the Sweet 16. Coffee bounces for Volpe at the top of the key. Looks for a player to pass to, finds Cannon in the left wing. Another 2-3 zone display from the Pride. Yeoman in the right wing. Her second 3 attempt at the half is true. Megan Yeoman gives the Bombers the 1-point lead. 7:43 to go in the third.
Yeoman shot that with so much confidence. She's made 3 jump shots today.
Ithaca going right back to where they left off, making threes. Here's Sam Horahan, long 2-pointer, foot on the line, won't go, rebound Volpe.
Don't love that shot from Horahan. Why not just take a step back and make it a 3 instead of a long 2?
Very true, especially in this modern day of basketball. Bombers, again, their largest lead is 3, looking to at least match that here in this possession. Cameron Coffey, top of the key. Megan Yeoman, why not another? Too short. Volpe the offensive rebound once again. Yeoman finds Albertelli, short post jumper, won't go, and the rebound to Horahan.
Much better ball movement, though, from the Bombers, getting much better shots.
Zindelet rushing it up the floor, drives left side, kicks it back out to Vinton, but the pass was too strong. Bombers giving the Pride a case of their own medicine. That's a turnover on Springfield's end.
Ithaca has been much better in third quarters, and much of that has been due to their defensive intensity. Springfield still without any points, if I'm correct, here in this third quarter, and again, going into that big crowd.
That would be correct. 19 turnovers combined for these two teams. Well, again, Bombers looking to extend the lead. Volpe throws inside for Cannon, just 4 points for her, puts up a hook shot, got the roll. Grace Cannon, that's her 5th and 6th points of the day. Bombers match their largest lead of 3. 6:37 to go. Wetland inside for Sharema. Won't go, and Sharema got a little rebound back and put it back in. 41-40 IC lead, 6:28 to go.
Great effort there from Sharema, but you can see Ithaca's interior really improving.
Grace Cannon catches. They love that left wing. She pulls for two. Too strong rebound. It's Angela Sharema again. And she will slow it down despite the initial press from Yaman. Vinton looking to call a play. Calls for the screen. Doesn't get one. She rolls it around to the right wing where Yaman tries to press her up. Vinton. Couple ball handle moves. Throws one inside for Horahan, and Albertelli is called for the hand check foul. It'll be side out as Natalie Smith, who played the majority of that first half off the bench, came in the middle of the first quarter, didn't come out. She's going to check back in for Coach Raymond here. Megan Yaman taking a seat, and Emily Doran also coming in for Lindsay Albertelli.
Both those two off the bench were fantastic, and that play right there by Albertelli, always tough to keep a player of that caliber, Sam Horahan, in front, but she's done a nice job.
Bombers looking to defend their one-point lead. Here's Sharema finding Horahan inside, got the deuce.
Too easy right there. Horahan just moved quickly off the ball from block to block. Ithaca lost her. Easy layup.
Easy shot from the right block to give the Pride back the lead. Here's Volpe. Takes the pass, goes to the left corner for Cannon. Coffey tried to make herself available, didn't get it to her. Now Coffey, that's a left wing three. Too strong again, and the rebound by Angela Sharema, the first-year player. Vinton bringing up the ball once again for Springfield, looking to expand on their one-point lead. Been back and forth thus far to start the second half. Here's Stephanie Lyons at the top, rolls it around to the left, gives to Sydney Wetland, who throws it back to Vinton to reset the play. 11 on the timer. Goes to Horahan, fakes the three, now to the corner for Lyons, guarded by Dorn. Works with her baseline. Now Sharema, fight for the ball. It's a jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Bombers. Great aggression by Volpe to get them the ball back.
Last two possessions for the Bombers defensively, unlike them, kind of losing some players for some wide open layups, really connected. A lot of communication there led to that defensive stop.
Smith walks it up the floor, hands off to Volpe to start the play. Bounces for Dorn at the right elbow, didn't have it at first, so the Bombers have to reset. Dorn at the right block, goes to Smith, who fakes the three, pulls it back out behind the line. Now Volpe again at the top of the key. Dorn fakes, goes to the left block, puts it away, blocked by Horahan. Out of bounds, it will favor Ithaca, but another great defensive play from the 6-footer for the Pride. And a media timeout is called in. Bombers struggling to figure out that 2-3 zone to start, yet they trail by just one.
Yeah, you can see their offense has really kind of regathered themselves, but when they start to get stagnant, it's when they really don't move off the ball and they try and settle for a three. If they're going to knock down an open three, it's got to go inside out, a few passes to get that open opportunity.
And before we get back to play, we're going to send it down to the third member of our broadcast crew. Max Tanzer has something for us. Take it away.
Thanks, guys. There were a flurry of emotions on the Springfield side of things before the last break, particularly for head coach Naomi Graves, who was getting into it with some of the refs, getting in their face a little bit. You saw Sam Horahan trying to pull her back. Immediately then she switched gears, went into the huddle, talking to the team, embracing that they need to move the ball a lot more, which we've seen them make that adjustment over the last couple of minutes, and then repeating the word together, together, together. Guys?
Thank you, Max. You're listening to Bombers basketball here on WICB Ithaca 92.7 FM on the Bombers Radio Network. Jeremy Goldstein, Dane Richardson, Max Tanzer down on the sideline. And going off Max's hit there, Naomi Graves, if you think Dane Raymond's been here a while, Naomi Graves has been here even longer.
Yes, she has. A legendary coach. You can go all the way back to her Division I playing days as a Hall of Famer at the University of Rhode Island. Fantastic coach. Really knows how to compose herself when needed. Obviously, in the ref's ear a little bit, but she knows when to tone it down, go right back to coaching. Really a game of chess between Graves and Raymond in this one.
Natalie Smith will inbound it underneath the basket. Raymond typically has a guard inbound. That Polche in the left corner fakes the three, had a solid look at it, but decides to run the play. Polche goes to Natalie Smith on the wing, fires another three, way off. Didn't even catch rim, and Springfield will gain possession. Shot clock violation, we thought it was, but Springfield will rush it back up the floor with Rachel Vinton. Gets pressed early, just in front of the half-court line by Natalie Smith. Tries to find Lyons in the right corner, doesn't have her. Good press by Polche. Now Wetlands. Goes to the top of the key. Now Rachel Vinton. To the top for Horahan. Head fake on the three. Drives by Cannon. Puts a ball out. Blocked by Dorn. Relentless rejection by the junior out of Laurel, Maryland. Springfield will take it from under the basket, though.
Great help side from Emily Dorn. Grace Cannon was beat. That's the third or fourth time Horahan's gotten a lane on that pump fake.
Again, really great job by the Bombers not fouling. Quick shot, Sharema is good. Right from the baseline, confident stroke. Springfield leads once again by 3. Cannon catches on the right wing, gives to Hannah Polche. Bombers working it around the perimeter. Melissa Buxton, she's also in the game for Coach Raymond's Bombers. Smith takes the pass, goes to the corner for Buxton, who's just in front of the three-point line. Smith throws for Polche. Back to Natalie Smith, trying to find the inside, they don't have it. Goes to Emily Dorn, wide open jumper from the baseline, won't go, fight for the rebound. Buxton had a piece of it, diving on the floor. A jump ball is called, it will favor the Pride. Again, really great job by Buxton to throw her body on the line, but Springfield will take over. Again, you're listening to WICP Ithaca 92.7 FM and the Bombers Radio Network, Ithaca College Basketball. The winner between Springfield and the Bombers here, advancing to the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament here.
Bombers really need a lockdown defensively. They can't let this three-point lead get extended.
The offensive struggles have resumed. Probably due to the adjustments by Naomi Graves and the crew at the halftime break. Vinton drives inside, finds Wentland, now Lyons at the top of the arc. Now Wentland drives from the wing, puts up a tough shot, got the roll. Sydney Wentland, the graduate student, increases the Pride lead to 5.
Another tough take by Wentland. You notice that 3-2 zone. Wentland's dropping back a little bit, denying the high post when it goes toward the wing. That's a nice little adjustment.
Bombers in desperate need of a bucket. Buxton struggled to make the catch, ends up getting possession, throws to Cannon on the right baseline. Finds Natalie Smith just in front of the block. Hannah Polche, big left wing three. Way too strong off the backboard. Springfield the rebound. Here's Rachel Vinton. Has numbers if she hurries, throws back to Lyons. Lyons goes to the corner for Vinton. Now Lyons working it around the arc. Hands off for Holohan. Right wing three for her. It's true. 8-point lead for the Pride. It's with 2:16 to go in the third. Big time run for Naomi Graves' crew. Here's Dorn at the right elbow. Goes right inside. Tough layup. Won't go. Rebound Cannon, and she's fouled. But Dane, Sam Horan, if she gets going, the Bombers are in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, we saw her hit a couple of those long three-pointers yesterday, including a couple of them in the fourth quarter, knocking one down right there. Again, she said in the post-game presser yesterday she wants to focus on defense and rebounding, but her offense is more than just good. Good response, though, from the Bombers, however, getting right back to the line with their leading scorer, Grace Cannon.
Grace Cannon, 2 for 2 from the line so far today, in desperate need of some points. The first one is good. 49-42, 2:07 to go here in the third quarter. Bombers trying to climb back from a 7-point deficit. Second stroke from Cannon is pure. 6-point deficit now in favor of the Pride.
These last 2:07 here in this third stanza is huge for momentum. If the Bombers can get this within 4 or 3, that's a huge step moving them into the final 10. If it gets to 9 or 10, look out if you're Springfield.
Riley Robinson, the new point guard off the bench. She relieves Rachel Vinton of her duties for the time being. As Sydney Wentland has the fake, throws for Horahan, and I believe we have a foul called on Emily Dorn before any shot was taken. As Springfield will take it from underneath the basket. More substitutions for Coach Raymond's Bombers. Megan Yelman and Cameron Coffey will check out Melissa Buxton and Natalie Smith.
Good foul, though, by Dorn. Horahan catches that. That's an easy layup.
Horahan gets the catch again on the right baseline. Throws to Stephanie Lyons at the top of the arc. She's been the facilitator, not known as much of a shooter. Horahan has 2 women on her. Drives inside right block. Great denial by Dorn. She did get a piece of it with 10 to shoot on the timer.
Great defense by Dorn, and part of that did not even let her get a step. Feet were there sliding the entire way.
Horahan and Dorn go at it once again, this time on the left side of the floor. Pullback 3 from Horahan, air ball. Hannah Polche, the rebound. Bombers want to run. Great job by the Pride getting back as Volpe catches. Throws across court for Coffey. Now to Yeoman. That's another 3. Connects. Megan Yeoman, her third 3 of the contest. It's a 3-point game again.
Huge shot from Yaman, and again, the confidence. She knew that was going in right when it left her hand.
Correct myself, second three of the game for Yaman. It's a 3-point game, 1:12 to go in the third. Here's Sydney Wetland, 3 women on her, kicks it back. Horahan, top of the key, 3, it's good. Sam Horahan is lethal. 6-point contest now. 1 minute to go in the third. Bombers trail by 6. Coffee at the right wing. Dishes it off for Volpe. Behind the arc, Yaman fakes the 3. Robinson almost gave into it. Now Hannah Polsey in the left corner. Gets denied by Robinson. Now Yaman. Bombers can't get it past the arc. Polsey drives baseline, kicks it back out. Yaman, one on another. Too strong in the rebound by Angela Sharema.
Good ball movement from Ithaca, but they need to start converting those shots because they're not getting any stops on the defensive end.
Robinson initiating the offense for the Pride. Here's Lyons handing it off to Sharema at the top of the key. Now Robinson gets it to Horahan. She has really started connecting on her long ball opportunities. Horahan wide open lane.
Illegal screen, I think, there, Jeremy.
There you go. Big break for the Bombers. If that was not called, Horahan would have had to easily.
Well, that's why it is called right there. Of course, illegal screen can't do that. Creates a wide open lane. 13 seconds left. Huge momentum if Ithaca's able to get a bucket here at the end of the third.
Bombers down 6. 10 seconds now. Yaman rushes it up the floor. Bounces for Volpe. Screen by Dorn. Volpe drives inside. Blocked by Sharema with 5.2 to go. Kara Volpe, who started the Ithaca scoring with a layup, has not scored since. Angela Sharema made sure it stayed that way right there. 5.2 to go. Coffee inbounds from under the basket. Finds Dorn. Lost the ball. Coffee catches. Goes back into Dorn. Dorn at the buzzer. Can't get the roll. And the third quarter will end. The Bombers trail Springfield 52-46. Final takeaways going into the last 10 minutes, Dave.
We've said Ithaca is a third quarter team. Well, Springfield won that third quarter.
They did.
Weathering the storm early. Bombers looked like they had some momentum in the first couple of minutes. Grace Cannon, Lindsay Albertelli going to check back in. Now it's do or die. This team's won 20 in a row. Can they make it 21? This is their biggest challenge and toughest test yet. The Pride look confident and ready to go in the last 10 minutes.
Coach Dan Raymond down in the timeout break. Bit of a smile on his face. You could tell he's calm, cool, and collected. Looking to rejuvenate his group that he knows can beat this team. Dane, we mentioned at the top of the show, Springfield, an at-large bid, wasn't even sure if they would get into the tournament. If you watch the selection show, the MC of that whole show said, Springfield, you can exhale. That was his exact quote. Now it's Ithaca really who needs to exhale right now as they try to come back in this fourth quarter.
There's a lot of time.
By 6.
Jeremy, I'm going to say there is a lot of time. And Ithaca's going to start with their 5 starters, Coffee, Cannon, Albertelli, Volpe, and Yaman, and start with the ball, I might add. But again, it starts on the defensive end. Something dangerous, though, for Ithaca right now. Sam Horahan's up to 19 points plus 2 huge shots from beyond the arc. If she's making those, then you have to guard her out there. That leaves driving lanes open for her, passes to teammates if you have to double her. She's been the best player on the floor tonight.
Ithaca probably, you could say, in not desperate, but a big need of a bucket to start the fourth. It is the starting 5 for both squads except for Jalen Dubon in for Springfield. 3 for Coffee on the way, won't go. Fight for the rebound. Coffee gets it back off the tip. Throws back out to Yaman. Inside Albertelli, throw finds Volpe, left block, layup is good. Second chance opportunities in favor of Ithaca. It's a 4-point game.
High post, low post, great ball movement.
Here's Dubon in for the Pride. Throws inside for Sharema, gets doubled, lost the ball. Yaman collects, great strip by Volpe ahead of the pack. Bombers calm it down. Here's Grace Cannon driving right side, layup. I think that got blocked by Horahan. Sam Horahan, standing stature, creating the change in possession. Here's Sharema at the top of the key. That's where the offense has been facilitated all game for the Springfield Pride. Vinton goes to the left wing. It's out of bounds off of Wentland. Wentland not ready for the pass. Bombers catch a break.
Yes, they do. Don't see those type of turnovers. Credit to Springfield, though. Ithaca off that rebound, a chance to cut it to 2. They did a fantastic job of getting back.
Yaman will walk it up the court. Plenty of time. 8:58 to go. Bombers down 4. Cross court, Megan Yaman. To the left corner for Cannon. Long 2, way short. Rebound to Bond.
That shot's been off all night long. Rare to see that from Grace Cannon, just an off night.
Vinton struggles to really get it across the timeline, but does now. 8:39 to go, 20 on the timer. Vinton pulls it back, Finds Jalen Dubon, guarded by Cannon, denying her left. Lost the ball initially, got it back for Vinton. Vinton, tough layup, got the roll. Rachel Vinton gets a big basket for the Pride to put them back up by 6, 8:23 to go in the game.
A little bit of a gamble, really can't afford those right now if you're Ithaca's defense leads back to 6 for the Pride.
Rachel Vinton, not quite the 20-point performance, but she's facilitated the offense well. Albertelli on the right block, puts up the layup, won't go, and her rough offensive day continues. Here comes Vinton, trying to create numbers, drives right on Yeoman, pulls it back to the right corner. Now throws it all the way back out to the top of the key. Horahan, long three, it's good! Sam Horahan bringing the roof off of Ben Light Gymnasium. It's a 9-point deficit, the largest lead for the Pride.
That was 4 feet beyond the arc. You cannot guard that if you're Ithaca. I don't know what to say.
Dangerous pass by Coffey. Albertelli pulls up, too short. Rebound Vinton. Rachel Vinton rushing across. It's a 3-on-3. Finds Dubon, takes the 3. Now bounces for Sharema. Sharema at the right wing for Wetland. Springfield wants to calm it down with 7:28 remaining here in the fourth. Vinton taking her time with it, guarded by Yeoman, drives right corner, threw it away, Volpe has the ball. Bombers need something. 7:15 now remaining in the game. Bounces, Cameron Coffey, right corner, 3 on the way too strong. And the rebound, it's a jump ball, but possession arrow favors Springfield. Three-pointers not quite falling like they were in the second quarter, Dane, and a chance to extend the lead to double digits for the Pride.
The Bombers are getting a little desperate. They're not as patient right now on offense. Defensively, you got to lock down and get stops. It's a 9-point deficit, still plenty of time, just over 7 minutes, but it's one possession at a time, and the Bombers are acting like they're down by 20 instead of 9.
7 minutes to go, like you said, Dane, and the Pride playing with a lot of confidence right now as Cannon takes Sharema, who drives to the left block. Tough pull-up, won't go. Volpe hauls it in. Natalie Smith goes to the table to check in for Coach Raymond. Yeoman catches the long outlet pass. And another turnover. I don't know where that pass was going. Here comes Lions ahead of the pack. Vinton left the layup short, and Volpe the rebound. Volpe drives left side, layup, no good. With a lot of control there. Dorn couldn't get the rebound. Outlet pass, Jalen Dubon. Layup is good. 11-point lead for Springfield.
Chaotic sequence, some missed layups, but the one that is made, leaking out Jalen Dalbin on the other end for Springfield.
11-point lead for IC, 6:10 remaining. Here's Kara Volpe, throws Emily Dorn. Layup, tough one. Will go. Offensive rebound, Dorn, jump ball. And possession arrow favors the Bombers. Might have been a little premature of a call there. Dorn would have had a layup if they let it go a second longer. But again, Natalie Smith into the game. Bombers will inbound from under the basket. They are in desperate need of some heroic run right now. 11 points they trail by. Here's Grace Cannon on the left wing. Drives inside the paint, pulls up. No good, too strong off back iron.
I don't know when the last time Ithaca actually scored. It's been 2 or 3 minutes, and part of that, Grace Cannon still under double digits, 8 points, leading scorer not performing.
They scored on the opening segment of the fourth quarter. I don't believe they have since. I believe that was a Yeoman tray. Dorban throws inside for Vinton, and she gets grabbed by Emily Dorn. Another foul, and Dane, do you feel the desperation kicking in on the Bomber side of the court?
It kicked in about 3 minutes ago because this team is not used to being down this late in the fourth quarter, because usually when they are down at halftime, the third quarter they pick it back up. They're not used to this situation. They've won 20 in a row.
And 20 in a row they have not lost since December. Vinton driving left block, left the layup strong. Right there is Angela Sharema extending the lead to 13. Here's Coffey, throws to the left wing for Cannon, tries her first 3 of the tournament, won't go. Too strong, left it off the back rim. Another Springfield rebound. .5:11 to go, Springfield tasting the Sweet 16. Vinton with 16 on the timer. Works it around to the right wing now. Stephanie Lyons at the top of the key, pressed by Coffey. Angela Sharema bounces for Dubon. She tries a 3. Too short. Rebound, no, by Lyons. Cannot afford those offensive rebounds if you're Ithaca.
Lack of boxing out. No one was there.
4:47 remaining. Here's Lyons. Working it slow. Sharema pulls from the left elbow. No backspin on that. It's way short. And here comes Natalie Smith looking to create some sort of offensive momentum for her team. Hands to Kara Volpe. Now Emily Dorn on the right elbow. Drives inside. Tough layup. Got it. A lot of contact. Nothing whistled. It's an 11-point game, 4:22 remaining.
Gotta get stops here. 4 minutes, still a double-digit lead. It's now or never for Dan Raymond's team.
61-50 Springfield in the lead with 4:13 to go now. Angela Shrema bounces for Jalen Doban. Stolen by Volpe. Here's a fast break. Kara Volpe to the right block. Layup is good. Single-digit deficit again. 4 minutes to go. Bombers trail by 9.
Need more of that. Not giving up. Kara Volpe does not want this to be her last game.
Benton and Natalie Smith running the show here at the top of the key on this end of the floor. It's Stephanie Lyons in the right corner. Now right wing for Benton. Crowd gonna get into it. Horahan, that's been a money spot. Top of the key, won't go. Rebound Coffee. Bombers need to keep this up. They're on a 4-0 run. Here's Kara Volpe. Pulls it back out. 3:35 to go. Time running out though. Throws to Coffee on the right wing. Tries a three. No good. And Sam Horahan relentlessly grabs the board. That would have been huge if that went down.
Great look for Coffee, too. That's all I got to say on that one. Just not falling.
She made her first three of the game, hit another in the first half. She has not made a long ball in the second half. Vinton bounces for Lyons. Double team to the corner, and a hand check foul called on Kara Volpe.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
With 3:09 to go, Ithaca still trailing by 9.
Give Ithaca credit to their defense the last few minutes. They've been getting a decent amount of stops, but offensively there just hasn't been an answer. You wonder when they're going to have to start pressing. 3:09 remaining, as you mentioned. 9-point Springfield lead. This is a team experienced down the stretch that knows how to close out games. Also shoots free throws very well.
Dane, we mentioned at the end of the first half that Ithaca was really primarily in their games for three-point shooting. We'll get back into that. Max Tanzer has a quick hit for us on the sideline. Max, take it away.
Thanks, guys. As you can imagine, things really tightening up here as we get down to the final minutes. I mean, you could feel and hear everyone's pulse collectively here in the stadium and the stands around us. Not for Springfield, however. Coming out of the second half, they were incredibly loose, dancing to the music, smiling at the crowd, embracing that crowd, and really that's continued throughout the entire second half. A complete flip from what we saw with Messiah and that Bomber student section last night. Guys?
Thank you, Max. And Dane, back to what I was saying prior to the hit. We mentioned around the halftime break, Ithaca was in it with a lot of three-point makes, something they don't primarily do throughout this 20-game win streak. Do you think the lack of three-point shooting or the lack of lucky breaks has caught back up with them?
100%. Back to reality, almost. 6 threes, I believe, in the first half. That really doesn't happen if you're the Bombers. Granted, they got some good looks, but some were actually contested shots. And if I was Naomi Graves at halftime, I'd say, hey, you live by the three, you die by the three. If we get this team to take this many shots from beyond the arc, we're going to be just fine. And that exactly has been the case. A 9-point lead for the Pride. The question is now, can they handle the ball pressure? The crowd certainly hasn't bothered them, but not too many free throws in front of the crowd, which they're definitely going to have to take if the Bombers start fouling.
Dane, the Bombers going with 4 reserves. Natalie Smith, Hannah Polche, the backcourt. Carol Volpe, the lone starter. Melissa Buxton, and then Emily Dorn make up the front court.
A little questionable.
Whiteland inbounds from under the basket on the left break. Finds Vinton in the right corner. Vinton dribbles it around, resets 16 to shoot with 3:04 to go here in the fourth quarter. Finds Lyons at the top of the key, pressured by Polche. Finds Sharema, 6 to shoot. Horahan finds Sharema inside, got fouled. Just Polche, the smaller defender there, had to put some contact on Sharema to disrupt the shot. But the good news is, well, maybe not even good news. Not as great of a free throw shooter as Dazinda Light, but still 74.3% from the line is Angela Sharema. First one is up and no good. Dane, free throw shooting was something that really disrupted Catholic on this end of the floor with the rowdy football section.
I'm laughing because of the crowd right now and what they're doing. I got to give them some credit, even down late in the game.
Just the first free throw shots for Springfield, and Sharema comes up short on both. Ithaca not out of this yet. Here comes Natalie Smith. Bombers need offense desperately. Polche on the right wing for Smith. Working around the arc, Melissa Buxton had 2 threes in the first half, has not shot it since. Buxton now for Dorn. Natalie Smith on the wing. Bombers need to hurry. Finds Volpe, throws inside Emily Dorn, and she gets fouled on the shot. And the 5'11 junior will go to the line. Chance to cut this deficit to 7 with 2:24 to go.
Most important free throws of Emily Dorn's career coming up. She's 2 for 2 so far tonight. Was a clean block, but did get bumped on the body, I believe, by Sydney Wetland. Huge shots.
Emily Dorn again really emerged. Started the season hurt, as the first one is good. Made her debut against Rochester, which is the last time they lost a game, this Bombers team.
Yeah.
Again, if you don't want to foul in this game, as Dorn's second is good, if the Bombers don't want to foul the rest of the way, they're going to have to be almost flawless on the defensive end.
They have been the last few possessions, but 2 possessions is one thing, 3 or 4 is another.
61-54, Springfield, 2:15 to go. 20 to shoot now for the Pride. Wetland in the right corner, gets it back out to Vinton through a lot of traffic. Horahan fakes on Dorn. Smith almost had the steal now. Stephanie Lyons corrals it with 9 to shoot. 2:02 to go. Horahan in the corner, double team. Throws one cross court for Vinton. Volpe tries to keep her in check. Now Rachel Vinton, tough layup, no good. Rebound Buxton. 1:51 to go. Bombers still really need points. Buxton for Volpe. Inside to Dorn, through 2 defenders, got it through contact. No foul called, 5-point game, 1:40 to go. Bombers need to sing the same song on defense. Here's Vinton. 1:32 remaining, it's a 5-point game. 6-0 run for this Bomber team. Right wing for Wetland, throws to for Vinton on the wing. Drives right by Dorn, layup is good. Dorn not elusive enough, Vinton is. Lead back up to 7 for the Pride. Polche thought about a 3, gives to Smith at the top of the key. She head fakes, now Buxton, 1:07 to go. Smith pulls it out, now Volpe on the baseline. Kicks for Dorn, Dorn is fouled. She'll go back to the line with a minute to go and a chance to cut the lead back down to 5.
No time now to really just get defensive stops from here on out. You got to start fouling. The Bombers have 3 team fouls right now, 1 foul to give. However, Dorn needs these 2 free throws to cut it back to 5. The crowd really at their advantage, though. They're going to try their best as Cannon and Yallman come back into the game. Timeout with 1 minute to go.
Emily Dorn's 4 for 4 from the line right now. And Dame, the good news for the Bombers, if you're trying to find a silver lining, is Springfield is typically not the best free throw shooting team.
Except if you're Sam Horahan.
Exactly. And if you look at their percentage, just 63.6 as a team. I talked to Rachel Vinton in the post-game presser yesterday.
Oh, here we go.
And she mentioned the team's not the best free throw shooting squad.
Yeah.
She said she personally yesterday had to sing the ABCs to herself to shoot free throws to make both.
I don't know. It might be a little hard to concentrate singing the ABCs with about 60 football players over there trying to mess with your concentration.
That's exactly correct. So fouling is not the end of the game here, but it's going to have to be a flawless 60 seconds for Coach Raymond's Bombers if they can want to make up for the poor beginning to this 4th quarter.
It all starts here with the free throws from Dorn, 4 of 4 so far tonight. Bombers would love if she could get to 6 of 6.
Dorn went into this game 68.5% from the line. First one is up and good.
Expect a press here on a make from Dan Raymond's team. I assumed he called that timeout for that reason.
Second one up and good, 6 for 6. Emily Dorn, as Lindsay Albertelli will check in for Dorn. Albertelli again has struggled offensively, but her defense has been evident. They get the inbound into Horahan. They don't want to foul her. Trying to get the ball out of her hands. Albertelli checks it. Doubled by Volpe. Fight for the ball. And we have a timeout call due to the trap by Naomi Graves. 51.7 to go on the clock. 5-point deficit. 21 to shoot when we come back out of the timeout.
Springfield does a nice job of getting the ball up the court. Dan Raymond's got to make an adjustment, though. There was a double ball screen there, and both players went to Rachel Vincent. I get she's really fast, but Sam Horahan was wide open. She did have trouble getting the ball up the court. 21 seconds, you really can't let Springfield use the rest of this shot clock, because if Ithaca gets a stop and a rebound, you got 30 seconds down 5. There's still an opportunity. Maybe you go down, get a quick score. But it's tough right now because you also have a foul to give. Dire straits for the Bombers.
Again, anything can happen at the end of the game, but once the game does end, stay right here. We'll have Whitmo Latino with DJ Vic for you right here on WICB. A stack formation off the inbound. Wentland tries to get it in. They do find Sam Horahan. Again, Volpe trying their best not to foul her, and she does. Tried to get it to Wentland, who is not a great free throw shooter, but after the pass was thrown, the foul was called. Springfield not in the bonus yet, though, to Ithaca's fortune. 48 seconds exactly on the clock, in desperate need of a stop. Inbound attempt goes to Horahan once again. Volpe is trying to keep her in the backcourt. The throw goes to Wentland. They try to foul immediately. It doesn't work. Lyons now with the catch, and Natalie Smith will foul Lyons. 39.8 to go. Stephanie Lyons, a 75% free throw shooter going into this one. Doesn't have a lot of attempts, so she does not shoot a lot. And with this student section that is barely right in front of her, it might be a challenge. Stephanie Lyons trying to keep her composure. First one is up and too strong. The wonders it would do for the Bombers if this one was missed as well.
Starts with boxing out, they'll have to get the defensive board.
Timeout Vitelli underneath. Second one is good. Still a two-possession game at 6. Timeout Ithaca. Again, it's still 39.8 to go. What are you telling your team if you're Coach Raymond right now? Do you try to find a three, or do you try to get the easiest basket?
Best shot, because there are some members on the Springfield team that you can foul that are not reliable free throw shooters. So just get the best opportunity. Jordan Beers right now drawing up a play. Again, if there's an open three, you want to kick inside out, that's where I go on this possession. Then absolutely take the opportunity. You have a chance to cut it to one possession. If you're Springfield here, absolutely do not foul. The clock is your friend. If someone drives to the basket, do not give them a chance of an and one. And last but not least, we saw them do this yesterday. Don't give someone a 4-point play. Don't foul jump shooters either.
Yeah, that did happen yesterday. Keep in mind, Kara Volpe has 4 fouls. Really the only Bomber in foul trouble.
That's why she didn't foul on Horahan when she inbounded the ball. I thought she was going to foul right away, but when she committed her 4th foul, Jeremy, I saw her immediately look up to the scoreboard thinking, oh no, I have 4 fouls. I don't want to foul out of this one. So that's why I think Ithaca fouled later.
Volpe in the game, if Ithaca has to foul again, which they likely will, they have to make sure that Volpe's not guarding the ball. Cannon will inbound. Immediately into Smith. The Bombers have to work quickly. Smith goes to Yarman on the wing. Struggled to catch the pass. Pulls a 3 from the top of the key. It's good! Megan Yarman! It's a 3-point game! And Rachel Vinton is fouled by Albertelli immediately. Dayton, you see the easiest shot. Yarman, quick trigger. Connects on the 3 to 1 possession game. Rachel Vinton, she's going to have to start singing her ABCs now. She's shooting 62.9% from the line right now. So, desperation free throws. Not desperation, but massive free throws, I'll say, for the junior guard. First one by Vinton is up. No good.
Never say die by Yarman. Such a tough shot. I might add she tied a career high. I'm missing a rebound. Bombers have a chance to tie.
Vinton takes 2 dribbles. Second one is up. No good again. Rebound Cannon. Timeout Ithaca. 1 for 4 from the free throw line down the stretch. Through the pride. The Bombers have a chance to take or tie the game with a 3-pointer.
My goodness, are you kidding me? And Ben Light Gymnasium is as rowdy as ever. What a shot by Yarman. I will say though, 29.9 left, shot clock off. With Springfield's poor free throw shooting down the stretch, you don't necessarily need a 3.
No, just a quick basket day, and I'd say get the easy opportunity. If you have an open 3, I think by all means take it. We'll see what Jordan Beers, who is a former player here at Ithaca College, is telling her 5.
Interesting to see they're keeping Natalie Smith in the game, likely for facilitating their 3-point shooter, Cameron Coffey, out of the game. Really the only shooter from beyond the arc they have on the floor right now is Yarman, who hit one on the last possession.
And it shows that you're really not desperate for a 3 if you're the Bombers. 29.9, you feel good, especially with the ability to foul. Albertelli catches the inbound. Tries to find Volpe inside. Yarman, corner for the tie! Way short, fight for the rebound. It's on the floor. Cannon dives on it. And a timeout to the Bombers with 18.9 to go, Dane. Do you love that play out of bounds? Obviously, a great job by Cannon to give his team another chance to tie, but do you like the quick trigger 3?
It wasn't a terrible look. It was actually, I would say the shot she made was a little bit of a tougher shot, a tougher angle right there. But what a play by Cannon.
Oh my.
This could have been, and Yalman, who's again tied her career high at 13 points. This could be their last game, right? Dives on the floor, looks like Sharema's going to go get it for Springfield. Dives on the floor, calls their last timeout. But interesting here, last timeout now for Ithaca. They don't have any left. So if Springfield gets a free throw, they cannot advance the ball.
Cameron Coffey's coming to the game. You have to believe.
Here we go, yep.
It's for three-point shooting. She'll take the place of Natalie Smith. So Megan Yalman now the only point guard on the floor for Coach Raymond's Bombers.
I like the lineup switch. You have all 5 starters in the game. You have 2 shooters now instead of 1. Cannon, who absolutely going to give it their all, and Volpe and Albertelli, who have showed a knack for crashing the offensive glass. Expect Springfield to stay with this 2-3 zone right here, but Jordan Beers actually not drawing up this play. Dan Raymond's got to go into his bag of tricks, at least hoping for a good look.
18.9 to go, still a lot of time to get a quick basket, foul, and hope that you're only down by maybe 1 or 2 after the free throws. Let's go Bombers chant arises from the Ben Light Gymnasium crowd. Cannon will take it from the right corner. Bombers look to tie with a 3. The inbound goes to Yalman on the left wing. Pulls a 3. Too short, fight for the rebound. It's a jump ball. It'll go to the Springfield Pride. Megan Yalman tried to play hero for the 2nd consecutive time. That one just a bit too strong. A deflating miss for the Bomber crowd.
Wasn't my favorite look, right? Yalman was about 3-4 feet beyond the 3-point line. A little bit short. You had time though. You could have swung it around, maybe gotten a better look, maybe gotten something in the high post, kicked it back out. Seemed a little bit desperate right there. Springfield takes the timeout, advances the ball. They have 1 left, so if they have trouble inbounding the ball. But the question is now, you could probably foul anyone but Sam Horahan and maybe still have a chance to tie. But remember, no timeouts for Ithaca. So regardless whether it's a 3-point lead, 4-point lead, or 5-point lead for Springfield, Ithaca's going to have to go the length of the court.
It'll be Ryans, Vinton, Sharema, Horahan, and Sydney Wetland into the game. If you had to pick a player to foul, it's got to be Wetland. She's inbounding the ball. Leonie Graves pacing back and forth. Inbound to Horahan, and that is the worst case scenario.
If you're Ithaca, yes.
She'll go to the line. 75.4% free throw shooter, but she is definitely, I'd say, one of the more talented players on that team.
It does not seem fazed by this crowd either. 2 huge 3-pointers. Late subs by Raymond right before the free throw, maybe trying to ice Horahan as much as he can because, again, no timeouts, but biggest free throws of her career coming on up.
Horahan will take 2. A fake proposal at the student section as Horahan's first free throw is up and no good.
They have had such an effect. That's all I got to say. That crowd doing everything they can. Springfield, I believe, has missed their last 4 from the line.
That is a correct stat, Dane. Horahan still a make would be deflating for Ithaca. Second one up, no good again. Yalman the rebound. Bombers can tie with a 3. And Cannon, I believe, was fouled by Sharema under the basket on the other end.
They got to reset the clock then. There's 9.8 left right now. If Cannon was fouled all the way back there should not be 9.8 seconds left. I mean, maybe they were tangled up, but we'll see. It looks like they are going to keep the clock the way it is. Springfield does have 1 foul to give, though, remember. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them try it here, 9.8 left.
Well, they do. If they foul, if they get to the bonus, it will be an automatic 2 free throws for the Bombers. 8 seconds to go. Natalie Smith works to Buxton, finds Yalman. Yalman fakes the 3, now shoots for the key for the tie! It's good! Megan Yalman at the buzzer! The Bombers stay alive in dramatic fashion as time expires!
Are you kidding me? Megan Yalman, as clutch as it gets, a career-high 16 points. Flashes of her old teammate Annie Giannotti. She would be proud. Does not want this to be her final game. We got an extra 5 minutes, my friends.
Megan Yalman, who cut the 6-point lead to 3, took 2 shots to try to tie it. Right at the buzzer to send it to overtime. Max Tanzer, I believe you have a word for us. Take it away.
Guys, I don't think there's an adjective invented yet to describe what just happened down here on the court. The amount of emotion displayed from the student section. Megan Yamin with the fist bump screaming towards her bench. Unbelievable stuff. Water bottles flying, ropes falling down. We're tied at 64. Guys?
Max, thank you.
My goodness, this play, breathless.
Heroics from the graduate student in one of their final game. The three-pointer off the fake to keep her, not only her career alive, but the team is still going on. They do put .5 back on the clock.
Wow, okay. Right? The only reason why I'm saying okay, slow up, whatever you do, whether this ball's advanced, you cannot foul. Don't even get near the ball, right? I believe Springfield, they did call a timeout. Remember, so I believe the ball is going to be advanced. Horahan's going to have an opportunity. Whatever you do, you cannot foul. Interesting they're having Horahan inbound because I would maybe try a lob to the rim for her, one of their taller players on the team. But look out for Sharema or Wetland underneath. Whatever Ithaca does, they have to protect the basket. No time for a dribble if you're Springfield. You got to get it up. The air would be completely deflated if Springfield somehow pulls off a miracle here.
You need .3 to catch a shoot according to basketball law. The starters out, all 5 for both teams. Sharema, the lone reserve in for Springfield. Inbound for Horahan, looking for a flasher. Finds Vinton, and the buzzer sounds. Horahan missed. We are going to overtime here at Ben Light Gymnasium.
My goodness, I did not like that play at all right there. Wasn't a bad look if there was 1 second left. Right, that was a pass back to Horahan. 3 was a little long, but the buzzer sounded before she got it off. Great inbound play, I love that, but with .5 seconds was about .5 late, right?
Yeah, and you also have to ask yourself, Bane, why are Springfield not fouling with a chance to avoid the three-point attempt at the end of that game? A little confusion, and then the 5 straight missed free throws on the end of the Pride. Chaos.
I got goosebumps.
It's March.
It's March. It is March. Like I said, I got goosebumps. And how do you compose yourself, right? You're Springfield right now. You are up by 9 with 2 minutes left.
My voice got way too high at the end of that shot.
I think all of ours did. Imagine the student section over there. I think they all fell down out of excitement, trampling each other. Athletes supporting athletes, of course. But if you're Springfield, listen, Naomi Graves, veteran coach, 30-plus years, she's probably been through this type of situation. She's seen everything there is to see. So if you're Springfield, you really need to calm it down. And I will say, through 38 minutes of this game, the Pride were clearly the better team. So the Bombers really need to reset and gather themselves. They still need to make some offensive adjustments because their half-court offense has not been good. They just, not saying they got lucky, but really turned it up, pushing the ball instead of using the rest of the shot clock.
Dave, how important is it for the Bombers to go on a run to start overtime?
Huge, and they have the momentum. This is the time to do it, my friends.
All 5 starters in for the Bombers. Same 10 we saw at the buzzer of the 4th. Tip goes to the Pride. Vinton will look to get a bucket for Springfield. On the left wing, she goes, picked up by Coffey at the top of the key for Sam Horahan. Now Vinton looking to reset. Now Sydney Wetland looks to find Horahan in the post, doesn't have it. Great defense by Coffey. Vinton on the right wing. Now Horahan at the top of the arc. Drives inside. Finds Sharema. Tough fade away. Too short. Fight for the rebound. Now Martelli comes away with it. If they could take their first lead since the beginning of the 3rd quarter with a basket on this possession, any point, a free throw, a field goal, or a 3. Here's Volpe on the right wing. Dishes for Cannon on the right block. Puts up a jumper. Got it! Bombers by 2. 4:12 to go. And here's Rachel Vinton. Springfield in desperate need of any sort of points right now. Top of the key for Sharema, now to the right wing for Vinton. Guarded by Volpe, hands to her hips. Albertelli almost had the steal, but Horahan picks it up on the right wing. Goes inside, tough layup, left it short. Ball is loose, Yeoman fighting at it. Lions fighting. Jump ball, possession arrow to Ithaca.
Hustle and heart right there. Yeoman tips it, Cannon gets an opportunity, forces the jump ball, and Max said downstairs the roof is ready to blow off this place right now. If the Bombers get another bucket, expect this place to explode.
Yarman walks it up the floor, looking to expand the lead to 2 possessions. 66-64, 3:34 to go in overtime. Volpe on the left wing finds Yarman on the wing. Coffee, thought about 3, gives to Albertelli, puts up a shot, won't go. Still scoreless is the senior out of Vermont, and here comes Vinton. Finds Wetland, finds a cutting Sharema, has it blocked, off of Sharema, out of bounds. Albertelli making up for her mishaps on the defensive end once again.
Either Lindsay Albertelli got a piece of it, or I think Sharema may have just dribbled it off her knee. Pressure getting to her, but again, the Bombers another opportunity to extend the lead.
Megan Yarman, again, working the offense for the Ithaca Bombers. 66-64, 3:05 to go. 3:02 remaining. Finds Volpe on the right wing. Tries to work on Wetland, now Megan Yarman once again. Drives on the left elbow, finds Albertelli, Coffee on the wing again. Good ball movement here, Grace Cannon. Thought about the long 2 to shoot. Puts up a wing jumper, too long. Albertelli the offensive board. Tries to dribble away inside, lost the ball. Cannon the steal off of press outlet pass by the Pride. So much going on at once. 2:31 to go now. Bombers maintaining a 2-point lead, absolutely clinging to it. Yarman directing traffic. Calls out a play. Wentland playing defense from just above the 3-point line. Now Coffee catches well beyond the arc. Volpe drives right side, kicks it back out. Coffee right wing 3. Too strong again. And a foul on Albertelli. Wow. I believe it's a frustration foul. Springfield gets possession back. Gain lots of opportunities for the Bombers to expand on this lead. Coffee a good look from the 3-point line.
That would have been game-changing right there. Dorn comes back in for Albertelli, who has struggled. Wetland to the line again. 56%, I believe. Here comes the crowd.
56.2. Wetland, she's 1 for 2 tonight. First one's up and good. Clutch free throw from the graduate student out of Elk River, Minnesota. Wetland, second stroke up and good. Didn't look like a 56% shooter there. Nope.
2 minutes now, Jeremy. It's crunch time.
2:04 to go. 66 all. In for Emily Dorn. She gets doubled at the elbow. Falls down, lost the ball. Stephanie Lyons has it. And another foul. I don't know what Ithaca's doing.
It's almost like it was the end of the game. Coffee thought they were behind or something. And even if they were behind, my goodness.
Dorn was stripped, it looked like, especially on the elbow on the initial catch.
Just not a heads-up play from Coffee. I get you got the steal in the backcourt earlier. Lyons isn't the best ball handler, but putting him back at the line, huge break for Springfield.
Lyons went 1 for 2. She had the last free throw make of regulation. First one's up and no good. Missed free throws by Springfield, keeping the Bombers in it. 1:57 to go, we're still tied. Lyons' second free throw is rattled home. 1-point lead for Springfield. 1:55 to go in overtime. Bombers came back from down 9 with about 2 minutes to go. They could come back from down 1, you'd think, with 1:48. Springfield in that zone again. Cannon lost possession, diving on it. And we have a jump ball possession now to the Pride again.
Bombers offense has really stalled. They're trying to force it into the high post. Springfield's really sagging back that 3-2 zone, walling it off. But we're back to where we were before. Springfield ahead. Bombers need to stop Albertelli quickly coming back in. It's going to be for Dorn that quick offense-defense switch. He wants, Coach Dan Raymond, wants Dorn on offense, Albertelli on defense, probably because Albertelli can guard backcourt players a little bit better.
Rachel Vinton walks it up the floor. Trying to expand their 1-point lead. Hands off to Angela Sharema. Fought on by Cannon. Now it's Vinton. At the top of the key for Holohan. Drives inside on Albertelli. Tough layup. No good, but a foul.
Wow. Right, Sam Horahan, one of the things we noticed in the last couple of minutes, missed both free throws to give Yarman the opportunity to tie it and send it to overtime, which she obviously did. She's gone quiet, right? And an aggressive take to the basket. If I'm Naomi Graves, I say, hey, the game is in your hands. On offense, I want you taking it to the rim every single time.
Holohan 0 for 2 from the line in the fourth quarter, looking to redeem herself here. First one is up and good. 2-point lead now for the Pride with 1:22 to go, 68-66. Student section going ballistic as Horahan faces the pressure. Second one up and good. Like a true superstar, Sam Horahan in the clutch. 1:22 now to remaining 3-point Springfield lead. Back-to-back turnovers on the last two Bomber possessions, and now here's Yaman trying to change that. Coffee bounces for Cannon in the right corner. Pulls up a long two and got it.
Huge shot. She hasn't been hitting that all night.
1 point game, 1:04 to go. Ithaca does not need to foul, but boy, do they need to stop. Rachel Vinton creates a switch. Schroeder lost the ball, but it goes back to Vinton. 15 to shoot, 51 seconds now left on the game clock.
Ball screen coming.
Vinton, guarded by Coffee. It's a bit of a mismatch. Horahan long three, 30 feet out. Air ball, but Lyons caught it. One to shoot. Desperation heave at the buzzer. Won't go. Yaman the rebound. 34 seconds. Just a 4-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Cannon drives inside. Tough layup. Got it for the lead. Rachel Vinton rushes it up the floor. 24 seconds to go. Timeout, Naomi Graves and the Pride. Chaos. Oh, once again, say it. It's March. Grace Cannon taking over in the final stretch.
Jeremy, I write in my notes on my boards. The bottom thing I have, I'm going to read it, has a certified clutch gene. That bucket right there in the short corner, a shot she had not been hitting all evening long, but she'd been hitting all season, takes it again, knocks it down. She has 6 points for the Bombers in overtime. Then the awareness. They could have ran it down and maybe taken one shot for the lead. The shot clock was about 3-second difference with the game clock. Season opening, takes it to the rim. Crafty step through. Bombers need one stop, shot clock off, 1 point lead. The Bombers needed a miracle. Right now, it's happening.
23.5 to go, 76 side to the free throw line. Vinton catches. Grace Cannon will check her at the three-point line. Pulls it back, drive to the right elbow. Horahan, elbow extended, drives right side, denied by Yaman, puts up the layup, scoop, it's good. 12.9 to go, Sam Horahan creates the lead for the Pride. Timeout Ithaca. They're going to need some more heroics here.
Yep. Last timeout, no timeouts now for either team. Ball will be advanced, 12.9 as you said, Jeremy. Right, but now you don't need a three. You need one play, draw it up, and if you do get a bucket, it makes things really difficult on Springfield because they have to go the length of the court. Naomi Graves is stuck with this 2-3, kind of 3-2 zone the entire night. I expect them to stick with that. I would definitely keep Emily Dorn in the game as well. Same starting lineup. Keep your starting, four of the members of the starting lineup and Emily Dorn because he's a little bit more talented offensively than Albertelli. But if you're Ithaca here, there's no time when someone shoots it to have one person get back. 5 people need to crash the glass regardless of whether the shot looks good or not. Cannon's going to inbound.
Cannon the inbounds. Can the Bombers save their season? They need a basket in the last 12.9. Looking for the inbounds. Finds Dorn on the left block. Layup for the lead. Won't go, but a foul. Emily Dorn down to the ground. Got hit. She'll go to the line for a chance to tie and then take the lead.
Dorn was setting a screen, but just rolled right back. Both players, I believe with Cameron Coffey toward the top of the key. Great awareness by Cannon. Dorn's been great at the free throw line, but again, no timeouts for Springfield, having to go the length of the floor, as we're going to see Smith come in for Coffey defensively.
That's a defensive adjustment in terms of a substitution. Emily Dorn, probably the biggest free throws of her life. First one is up and no good, rolls out. Dorn now 6 for 7 on the game. Second one is up and good to tie the game.
No timeouts, here we go.
11.3 left in overtime. Here is Vinton, calls out a quick play, 6 seconds to go, 5, Vinton driving on Volpe, for the win, blocked by Volpe. Out of bounds, Dean, 1.1 on the timer.
Still an opportunity now for Springfield. Protect the interior of the paint. Horahan's going to try and get position right here for the Pride.
Plenty of time, 1.1 to go, Wentland will inbound. Looking for an open woman, finds Horahan for the win! She got it at the buzzer! Sam Horahan from the right corner sends the Springfield Pride to the Sweet 16.
Speechless. What a game. What an effort from the Ithaca Bombers. Megan Yalman, Grace Cannon. If this is Cara Volpe and Lindsay Albertelli's last game, props to them. This team, when they were down and out, every challenge they faced this year, they responded. 20 wins in a row, an absolute historic season. But credit to the Springfield Pride. Sam Horahan, just that good, wins it. Pride to the Sweet 16.
And you couldn't have set it better yourself. Sam Horahan, they were going to try to get her open, flashing off the stack. Creates the jumper and cashes in. Springfield didn't know if they were to get into this tournament. Now finding their way on to the Sweet 16. What a run. And again, just all the props in the world to this Bomber team. A 20-game win streak has come to an end. Lots of seniors, lots of graduate students came back for that extra year. Devastating way for them to go out.
It's tough, and I'm going to say final words about this team. Jeremy, I know we were ICTV men's basketball for a while, and we got to do this game for radio. It could not have been a better experience for us, and we'd like to thank all the production crew, and I know you're going to send out thank yous in a little bit. This game was absolutely fantastic. Credit to Springfield for making the Sweet 16. Tough one to swallow because the Bombers are going to take a lot of losses next year.
Before we send it to our post-game crew of Max Adams and Toby Zabore, excuse me, no post-game show. We're going to go right to Rip Militino with DJ Vic. But before we do so, special thank you to Susan Bassett, the entire athletics department, Justin Luton, the entire athletics communications department, to the general manager at TVR Operations, Jeremy Menard, sports director Matt Sossler, game engineer Clay Davis, field producers Nick Lebrano and Evan Glotzer, station manager Connor Hibbard. And thank you to Toby Zabore and Max Adams for putting on a pre- and halftime show for us. For the final time with Ithaca basketball.